So I'll stop teasing viral for a minute. We'll we'll do a real quick recap, um, or a highlight. And last session, what was last session? Last session was
Arrived on Lamiera.
yeah, fallout from the trail encounter and non-engagement. It was Koana, well, making a cake casserole salad. Cake salad, I think, is probably the best word for it. A cake salad.
I hate that so much.
Is anybody else envisioning a cake with like lettuce poke out of the frosting layers?
Yeah.
Hey, now macaroni salad doesn't actually have any vegetables in it, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's good either.
It's not. I agree. a cake
Right.
concoction.
Carrot cake is the closest I'm willing to come to cake salad. Moving on.
Have you tried a spinach cake yet?
Try what cake?
Spinach cake.
No,
That sounds so
not.
cursed.
No. But Kawada made the cake concoction for Elise, put that into an MRE, and there was a little bit of celebration. There was a little bit of moping or sulking or upsettedness. Some piano. Concaction, I love it.
Hey.
And then some other very, very touching scenes between Das and Elise, between Elise and Percy. There was just a lot of roleplay in that last session. And then we got to Lamiera. You guys decided to land the ship on the planet. We're given a special kind of unmarked spot outside the city, which you were told would support the structure of your ship. And a customs inspection came out, made sure everything was A-OK, and let you into the city. Kind of on a little bit on John's just credentials, his words are escaping me. Yeah, his skill
Reputation?
at negotiating it, and I don't want to quite say reputation, but yeah, that's basically what I'm going for. Something around his
Infamy?
reputation. No, not infamy. The other way. Definitely on the good side. But
Okay.
reputation is close enough, and the skill with which he handled the traffic academy, traffic control. Traffic control.
It's okay, Dex. English is difficult.
English is difficult. I did just wake up half an hour ago. A little bit more than half an hour ago.
Fair.
And I am slowly getting that caffeine into my body. And on arrival to the city and scoping out the wares available, found that there's a lot of bioluminescent stuff available, both in pets and in furniture. And Ellie, this is something that your character will have seen trending in the past couple of weeks. There is a lot more of glowing hair and glowing clothing within regulations, of course. There's some control over how much people can glow, but yeah, that's been trending for a couple of weeks now, and so you're welcome to have Riley partaking in it. She will stand out if she's not. And that's where we left off. Anybody got personal highlights from the last session?
It's not quite from last session, but a highlight for me was the text roleplay between Elise and Acid in the interim, where Acid was opening up about her past. That was big.
Yes. That was very forthcoming from Acid.
Yeah. I wonder how much she hated or didn't hate humans before that happened.
Sounds like a conversation someone might have with her.
Hmm. Well, it need to be at least because none of the rest of us heard it.
Elise has to stop being an angsty fucking person for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't see it.
Any other highlights? Ooh,
Well,
viral.
Speaking of angst, in a rare moment where she didn't have it, I thought that the moment between Elise and Das last session was very nice.
Yeah. That was a definite highlight in the roleplay there. Alright, well, let's go ahead and bring us into frame.
You.
You guys are on Lamiera. You can do shopping here. We're not gonna like make any kind of session out of it. Just use discretion on what you can and can't buy. Feel free to ask me if there's something that you think you might require moderation. Like line shunts are one of the surprising things, perhaps, that require moderation because as a GM, I strictly control those to make things challenging for you. But they wouldn't otherwise look in the book like they're controlled that much. You can get weapons here. You just have to recognize that your character is not just walking into an open storefront and walking out with a gun. If you want something that fast, um, you're getting it on the black market. So consider whether that's something your character would do. But it's not that difficult to find any of the normal stuff in House LaRue without raising any kind of flags or getting yourself tailed by police. One other thing that we're going to do this session is, as kind of an administrative thing, is I would like you guys to look out for hiring crew. You've gotten some concerns from your existing crew because of how stressed and tired everybody was from the salvage operation. And to be fair, that was actually kind of new for them also. That isn't something that Portia Lynn, when Raza was under her command, went around doing. Portia Lynn just blew things up.
Which is creating salvage, but point.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're just cleaning up after. You know?
That's right. That's
yeah, we're atoning for all the messes we made.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like someone to put it in your characters' heads that getting some more crew on the ship would be valuable, at least for the salvage operations, and
Yeah.
for the ease of introducing Ellie's character, include, hey, what if we've got a ship doctor also?
Yeah, the idea of getting more people, that's something Percy has brought up before. Ideally some engineering people so that Douglas isn't trying to keep the whole thing held together by himself.
Yeah, you don't have to get specifically engineering people for that. Regular ship crew, people that are capable of crewing a ship, can take a lot of the strain off Douglas.
Yeah, it's true. Me and Das have been doing some of that. So, and Percy's only got like fixed 0.
Yeah, as long as people can follow instructions and know how to handle themselves on a ship, that's basically what you're looking for in the basic ship crew. It can certainly get people that have more specific engineering knowledge, but they're mostly backups in case something happens to Doug and you need specific engineering expertise.
If it's just maintenance, it's just like you point them at the manual and they follow the instructions.
Yeah, and even if it's small repairs, they can do that. If it's knowing how to trim parts of the drive for peak performance, normal performance, they can do that. But where they'll fall short is if they have to make major repairs or figure out what to do in a very novel situation. That's where they'll fall aside.
Yeah, so I think we're probably okay just generally hiring ship's crew, but I do think it'd be nice if we could to get at least one dedicated engineer.
Okay.
Apart from Doug, I mean, Doug's doing a fantastic job, make no mistake, but,
Mhm.
just in case he does get shot.
Okay.
Mm.
And one advantage of an actual dedicated engineer class is they also help in the workshop.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I couldn't remember if that was separate from the technician or not.
Yeah, no, I would count that as the technician. Yeah. We are of the same mind, at least for a minute.
For the time being.
All right, so let's get a recap. Not recap, but a revisit on what everyone is doing in the moment and where they're going. We will start with John, who was out looking for history and information about Zoe and her dad. What were... Let's see. Actually, I forgot who went off. I remember that Elise got a little bit of that kind of like black light, purplish highlight glowing in her hair.
That is true.
Doug got a yellow streak, right?
Yeah, yellow streak down the middle.
Where isn't yellow?
Like a neon mohawk. Except that I still got the rest of my hair.
Yeah, it's just the mohawk part is just light. Who had gone with Douglas?
Was it Elise?
I think Elise went off on her own.
Might actually.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think we
both were doing the same
touring.
thing, which was just
we were just kind of in the same
explore.
area. We weren't really doing anything together so much as just
Mhm.
Yeah, it was just like, I'll see you at the ship later.
Okay.
All right, see ya.
Right. Das, Percy, and Dima were trading, and then somebody wanted. You were looking into the cybernetic options for Dima.
That was me.
Oh right, and then Acid and Libra took Tawana out of the town.
Pretty much.
We know what happened with that.
Oh man, I was coughing right then. What was the funny bit?
Oh, because Acid and Libra were taking Tawana out in the town. We don't know really how that resulted.
Not yet.
Why did I get the feeling? Why did I get the feeling that they're going to come back with Acid extremely drunk, Libra with things drawn on her face, and Kwana traumatized, and with a fluorescent streak?
Probably because you're right. Yeah, I could see that happening.
All right. Let me get your question there out in the open, Miakin. Are you asking me what you need?
Yeah, I can't remember if I had to buy anything specific to be able to mod, or if it's just essentially spend the credits for it. I think it might have been complicated in my head from the Germ bit from last campaign. So I'll be overthinking it.
Yeah, and perhaps ironically, that's actually even last campaign was simplified from what's in the book. So no, I'm fine with just cash equivalent in spare parts. It's potentially cheaper to build things and mod while you're on the planet because you can just straight spend the credits for it. Whereas when you're using spare parts, I require you to use the entire spare part, even if the thing would cost like 51 credits worth of material. That's 2 spare parts.
Yeah. Well, I'm not worried about that. I'm not
Yeah,
worried about I'm just worried about keeping costs down on any expensive mods.
Yeah.
At which point, 50 credits here and there is not really a big deal.
It really isn't. I think the only thing that I'm still kind of limiting is the Mastercraft stuff. That should be planned out far enough in advance that you can buy specific components from an actual population hub.
Gotcha. And speaking of, does anyone have some sort of Mastercraft that they would like? I don't really need much for Doug, so it's really gonna be more meat crafting stuff for y'all as support.
Mm.
Now would be the time to mention it
Arm.
because you're
Armor.
somewhere where he can do it.
And this is the best place to stock up on what we need. We haven't sold anything though, so my funds are a little limited.
Yeah, I think we should.
I think we're gonna try another round, right, and see what we get.
Yeah, because last time we got very average rolls, and this time I am not touching the dice when we see how well the money goes. I am not touching the dice.
I can think of two things that might be nice for a mastercraft. Mastercraft armor with like concealed.
Oh, that's a thought.
That way, it's like you can be wearing your combat armor.
Probably expensive, but yeah.
Very expensive. I didn't say it wasn't going to be expensive.
Let me see how much. Where's my D&D or where's my folder?
Combat field uniform would be 10,000 credits as concealed.
That's not total, right? That's plus the cost, which is 1,000, so 11,000.
For the concealed, it's easier for me to just say it's 10 times base cost instead of adding 10 times base cost.
But masterwork is also.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't need to be mastercrafted either for that.
Yeah, that one doesn't.
No, you said.
And that would be very expensive.
I know you did like things like that are big like that to require mastercraft. That is like literally a suit of armor.
I do prefer it.
And you can steal a suit of armor? I don't even know if that's even the suggestion. Device, guys.
Or a mastercraft, I'll allow it, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't. Because concealed talks about like a device is disguised as a specific different object. I don't know how you disguise it. I mean, I guess you could do like a backpack that, you know. I guess that would be the thing. It's like a backpack that folds out into armor around you.
So I think that's kind of where I would be, is if you want it worn and effective at the same time, you're right. That's not really the concealed mod, because concealed...
That would have been polymorphic blending, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably what I was trying to...
Oh, yeah. Actually, I think I could...
describe.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I think I could do that. Because I don't have to... Yeah, I don't have the pre-tech cost.
Wait, what?
It doesn't cost a pre-tech for me to do polymorphic blending. I can totally do that.
Oh.
Taking one of our combat field uniforms or making a new one with that might be very useful. Just to have armor. Yeah. And that goes for Percy and Elise, I think.
Yeah, we could have a couple. The fun thing is I took Ironhide, so I didn't have to worry about it. I should have actually just done that for me as well, but it's okay. I like the idea of me just not even needing armor.
Yeah. I'm fine on doing a polymorphic blending for me because I'm thinking of seeing if I can get an Icarus harness.
I could always be polymorphic blending.
I know, but I'm saying like I don't have it right now, so there's no point. Yeah. No, but like there's no point in doing it on a combat field uniform if I'm about to change anyway, you know?
Yeah, I mean, does anyone? I mean, for lack of a better, I need something to be able to spend my time and money on for modding. So
the other thing that I can think of is getting a more souped out sniper rifle.
That's a shout.
I do like sniper
rifles. That's a selfish want, but it is a want.
Look, for the team.
We're about to have quite a bit of money from the sales and possibly more money in the future, so you got to spend it on something, right?
True. Sniper rifle with auto targeting would be really funny. That's all I'm gonna say.
You didn't buy anything last week. Did you complete? Did you sell what you had last week?
No, because we wanted to see if we could get better than average. We were gonna get someone else who's not cursed to roll for the tables and see if we can get better money.
Okay. Yeah, that's. I mean, that's totally fine. That's. You sit on cargo for that very reason.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I think I told you last week. I do make it take a week for the winds of commerce to change. So that does mean that you're looking at sitting here for a week, which is fine. You guys really seem like you have a lot to do here. I'm going to come back with the information that John is turning up. Actually, you know what? I'll hold off on
Okay.
that since since we are stretching out how long you're going to be here a little bit. Let's say that he's still working on that, and that's why he's not
Wait.
here.
That's fair.
And let's focus in on Das, Percy, and Dima. You've finished your trading day. You've gone. You've looked at some cyberware options for Dima, and he is kind of quietly excited. Although it had been, promised to him that you'd take him to get some legs. He's been without them for long enough that it just kind of felt like, empty words. But now here he
imagine,
is.
Like, it's starting to sink in and become real now that it's actually happening.
Absolutely, very much.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't move you guys, did I? I never rejoin as player. Yeah, all right.
They can cut in real quick. Did you see the message I put in the Discord for purchasing stuff?
Oh, that's fine.
Is all that fine?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'll subtract the credits.
Okay. For this Meowkin, for modding,
We'd rather buy a new one.
I think so, yeah, because modding one of the suits from the armory is technically taking it out permanently from the armory.
Gotcha.
So just for that little bit extra credit sync, not that it's really needed.
Yep.
And for a little bit of a nod to there is a limit in the armory. We'll go ahead and say that anything that you mod the base item does have to be bought.
Mm-hmm.
Or paid for.
Okay.
If you're away from any trade hubs or cities, whatever, you can still mod things from the armory and keep the armory completely stocked up as long as you're, spending the spare parts as if you were buying the item. So yeah, Das and Percy. It's gotten late. You're not going to be able to take him over to tonight. Stores are a little bit fairly conservative here. Nothing's well. There are things that stay open 24 hours, but they're more for those kinds of services that people would need. After hours, and actually need, not just I need my caffeine fix.
Wait, you mean the cafes are closed at night?
There will be cafes that stay open to late hours for some socializing. There will be bars that stay open a little bit later than that for that socializing. But the grocery store closes at sundown. Or a couple hours later. Stores and shops close. People go home, and they stop polluting the city with their light and noise.
My God, this really is escapism. Right, yeah. As I recall, I think Percy was, like, when he was taking Dean around to look for cyberware options.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think what I was wondering was whether there was any favors or stuff that I could do to reduce the price of cyberware a little bit, like if anybody needed stuff done.
You did. Excuse me.
And then I promptly gave you something else to think about over the intervening week, but still.
Oh no! You asked that at the end of the session last week, and so I was able to give it some thought. And with the 6 that you rolled, no, your Percy is not able to find or connect with anybody who is, looking for that kind of any kinds of favors around. Yeah.
And that's fine. I can just pay market
They
price.
want to keep their business clean, especially with a mercenary or a tourist that they don't know.
That's valid. Honestly, if anything, that's probably a good thing for the integrity of their business.
Yeah.
But yeah, Actually, Dash, do you want to do a scene?
If you have a scene.
I have a scene in mind.
Okay.
Like, I think we could. I think it's no reasonable to say that after a long day of trading and checking out cyberware clinics, the two of us and Dimitri stopped by a cafe or something on the way back to get a drink, just before we head back to the ship. And while we're there, Percy's going to broach the topic of recruiting more people for the ship, because obviously, we are short-staffed at the moment, and we've been fucking running ourselves ragged. I've barely had a chance to get my breath back from the stasis tube. So yeah, what do you think? Should we be like, you got any idea how we go about getting people?
No.
No.
I mean, I know how I got on there, but I don't think that's a great way of getting people.
Yeah, no, let's not repeat that.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of worked with Quanta, but I feel like that was chance more than anything. But it's just like, with the kind of stuff we're doing, and we're still figuring out what we're going to do, frankly.
Yeah.
Like, how do you recruit someone and go, oh yeah, we might be salvaging, we might be fucking pirating, we might be getting out space battles, we might be wandering the cosmos. How do you recruit someone for that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sort of a thing on board. I don't know. Who wanted? Ship's going to do random stuff.
Yeah. Also, what would be nice? And just something I've been thinking about. I know you've been studying you've been studying up on your field medicine and stuff. But it would be nice to get somebody who already actually knows what they're doing, just in case, for example, you get shot.
Yeah, I can do patches, but if something more serious happens, it'd be good to have someone who knows.
Or if something happens to you, that's beyond my level of skill.
Indeed. Yeah. Probably same for Doug.
Yeah, we could do with someone else who can keep the Vaza going if he blows himself up with one of his grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dima, you got any thoughts?
Yeah.
It is your ship. No, I have no thoughts. Except that you need the help.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, because you've been around for a bit longer than us, we're still figuring out how to do this whole recruit people to run a starship thing,
I was stationed on put on Henry Station for years since the combat incident.
Yeah.
I've seen people
you
come and go, but that is, I can help with administrative work and with kind of profiling people, but is it?
No, that's fine. We were just wondering if you had any ideas of where to look. Like, do we just go and hang out in a bar near the shipload or something and go, "Hey, you looking for work?" And Percy just sort of shrugs confusedly.
Well, maybe I can be of help then, because there are much better ways. Yes. I would not want the man standing at the door of Club Magoo, who stands at the airlock of Rattling Zabra.
Yeah.
There are credentials that you want in your crew. And I have seen that come and go through Henry Station, as I can see which are the ragtag ships. barely managed to dock without getting shot out of the sky for getting too close. Thought that they should manually pilot to dock instead of just let autopilot do it. It's easier. So, I think that is my advice, is you and you. He looks at Percy and at Das. No, this is not a job for you. If best idea is to find man standing at the door of Club Magoo. Let someone else do it.
So just like put out word that we're hiring, I guess, and see who comes?
No, you are not listening. I say let somebody else do it.
Sorry, a long day.
he does laugh at that. It's okay. It does seem to have been long, but maybe I will see if your captain wants me to help, and think Elisa's good with paperwork. Not sure what else she does. What does she do on crew? I have not asked.
Honestly, we're still kind of. I think she's still figuring it out along with the rest of us. Hell, I'm not convinced that half the crew knew what she did exactly before we lost our memories.
I'm not sure much of anyone knew what she did. I didn't. Whoever she worked for, certainly.
Yeah, but whoever she worked for is Portia Lynn, and she's fucked off and left us, it seems. Anyways, yeah, thanks for the advice, Tima. And Percy just finished off the last of his drink. Shall we head back?
I'm sorry to be... if that was mean.
No, you're fine.
In Union, the person that is best suited for the job does the job.
Makes sense.
So yeah, he says that he's okay with the cybernetic clinic that you guys have picked out. You know, you've sat down at a cafe a little bit down the street from there.
Cool.
And I'm sorry. The cybernetics would actually be. You guys have sat down at a cafe down the street from. You could have gone to the Grand Market and looked at the wares there, or you could have just gone somewhere that's like basically an information kiosk and asked around. I think you'd also done some research just on the internet there. But yeah, no, the cyberware clinics are not actually in the city. You'll have to go to another one. But that's not difficult to arrange. And sorry, Viral. That was not me trying to say no, let somebody else do it. That was very much a Dima moment.
No, honestly, that's fine. It does make sense. Like Percy was just like, I have no idea how we find people. How the hell do we find people?
And talking to Dima, who worked, whose life was Union, and in Union, you do the job that you're supposed to do.
Which is honestly a philosophy that we can get behind. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, I think we'd probably mention that conversation to Elise when we get back to the Raza.
Okay. Are people going back to the Raza? Or are you going to get a room here in House LaRue?
I think given recent events, Elise is staying off the ship. There's a new sign posted on the door. If you need me, call me.
God.
If you leave without me, I'll hunt you down.
And nobody knows if she knows how to do that, because nobody knows what she does. Sort of.
Is it too soon to say she'd probably be pretty good at the bounty hunting thing herself?
Oh, what was that?
Yeah.
Is it too soon to say she'd probably be pretty good at bounty hunting herself?
I'll leave that to Jackal if she's given any indication of that.
In an out of character sense, yes.
Yeah, out of
Okay,
character,
fair.
absolutely yes. She's very good at it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, there is no damn way that I am brave enough to say that in character. She's pissed off enough with me already.
I I felt bad also for how much Aspen was calling Percy dumb, but I loved it. And going on with the same kind of like image that you're starting to give Acid, it really does feel like the old grandma that calling the kids that she loves. He's so dumb.
Yeah, that was the vibe I got. Anyways, I will be honest, I'm trying to move us on slightly to the recruitment phase so that Frey can start actually talking.
I know you are, but let me pace it, please.
Sorry. I feel bad. I just feel bad for Frey sitting there silently.
I don't think Frey was not expecting that. And also, Frey doesn't have to be silent. You know, as a player, you're welcome to talk, but it's going to be a little bit of a step up process to actually get Riley here and interacting.
Yeah.
I do appreciate your excitement and exuberance in trying to make sure everybody's involved. All the players are involved.
I'm in no rush.
All right.
Okay. So I said Percy's definitely saving money by sleeping on the ship.
Okay. All right. Well, ironically enough, let's actually move on to that. So yeah, I do think it would work for John to mention it, and like I said, if Nox disagrees, then it still would have come from Libra, who is concerned about the just kind of overall health of the crew. Not as in like, oh, you could get hurt in an accident, but as in you very seriously stressed yourselves during that salvaging and need more people. Libra has a fairly decent idea of how good Elise is at connecting in groundwork. And so, for simplicity, we'll just say that it does come from Libra. There's a call on Elise's comm.
Elise will answer it. And there's just like silence before she says anything. Please tell me this isn't about like the other night.
It is not. We can speak about that if you want, but not over a comm grid call.
Well, I don't want to speak about that, so what's up?
The ship needs more crew. I was wondering if you'd be open to finding some suitable people. We've cleared it with the captain.
How many people? What kind of people?
We need a medical specialist. Das and Percy are good in combat, but we need somebody who can dedicate themselves to the sick bay on the ship. Acid is not qualified for that role. We also need general ship crew, people who know what they're doing on a ship.
Yeah, but how many of those? Like 4 people, 5 people, 50 people?
How
also,
often
what am I offering them?
What was the last question?
What am I offering them? I swear to God, if you say credits.
You
know what? I'll figure out the payroll.
Libra is silent for a moment. I wasn't going to say credits.
What were you gonna say?
I'll forward you the market rates for crews on ships that expect to encounter dangerous base situations.
I'm absolutely going to say credits.
It is the
That
same.
usually involves credits,
Most people like to be
right?
paid in credits.
Yeah.
It 5 to 10 to start. We don't want too many in case they mutiny. I would prefer to kill fewer people than more.
So, I want to say this with all due respect. Should we be expecting to kill our crew members? Because if that's a precedence, I think we're going to need to have a more serious conversation later.
It is not a precedence. It is an unfortunate reality of hiring crew without being able to spend months selecting your candidates.
We didn't spend months selecting us.
And none of you have died.
Good point.
Okay. Anyone else should be looking for?
Someone else to help in the workshop?
Okay. So you're expecting at most 12 people.
Yes.
Okay. I can I'll work on that.
I'll take
I already
Koana
have
back
some
to the ship and
ideas.
we'll begin working on preparations to meet new people. Tomorrow.
Back on the ship tomorrow.
No, she said that she'll take Koana back on the ship to start working on preparations for new people.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was panicking there for a second.
No. I don't know how long we intend to stay here, but probably not more than a couple of weeks at most.
Yeah, but I kind of want to enjoy my weeks, you know?
I'm
And
sorry,
sure you're
Elise.
happy to have the silence now that I'm out of the ship.
It doesn't bother me.
Sure about that?
Acid couldn't sleep. That bothered me. But
And by proxy, if I'm bothering Acid, then I'm bothering you.
I worry for her.
Uh-huh.
Perhaps don't play so late.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to promise that one.
I'll see if I can find her some earplugs.
I will go back to the rec room.
That's a suitable compromise.
Well, I'm actively trying not to have you guys figure out to just kill me, so go with that.
I do not intend to kill you, Elise.
No, but mutiny and then killing them kind of sets the precedent.
That was in poor taste. I shouldn't have said that.
At least if you kill me, you'll get a lot of money. Anyway, bye.
Does Elise just hang up?
Yeah.
Okay. There's we'll do a little out of character scene here of just Libra looking at the phone or clicking the comm pad and kind of just saying to herself, I would need to know who's paying for you first.
Did she not know?
Well, from the context and from what information, about the only thing that I think anyone knows is that Mr. Jack has hired somebody to try and kill Elise, but it's not exactly an easy contract to approach. Gotta find Mr. Jack or get in contact with them first, and that can be scary.
Consider also, Trail knows who's paying.
Yes, you
Like,
could
all you gotta do
certainly.
is go back to Henry Station and be like, "Look, I've got a corpse. I need someone to pay for it. We'll find you." But yeah, what should I roll for recruitment purposes?
How does
If
Elise
anything?
want to go about it? Is she trying to do it through paperwork? Is she trying to do it through connections?
Well, if we've already been here for about a week, right?
Not quite, not
Um,
quite. I'm still thinking this is like the first couple of days.
Well,
Oh, I see,
when
connected.
we've been here for a week,
Okay.
connected will kick in, and then I'll have a decent web of contacts to start.
Okay. Well, then we can
Finding
actually
people.
just kind of work with that, and I don't think I need a role at all. Elise can, over the course of the week, just kind of put her feet on the ground and get acclimated to the local scene, get acquainted with the local scene. And honestly, with that focus, you can decide how much work she is putting into this versus how much it's coming naturally, and she can relax and do other things.
I think that there's probably a stronger pull to do this, especially given it's a thing to do.
Okay.
She doesn't usually have a lot of things to do on the ship, so
Okay.
she's not putting maybe 100% effort into it, but while she's going to various different places, it's like 95% of the effort there.
Okay. All right, that sounds good.
If she happens to have fun, going to this bar, club, event, whatever, right? That's just a bonus.
All right. So let me note that. At least fun recruitment times. All right. So let's get an idea of what everyone else is doing over the course of a week. I'm gonna make some more boxes for people here. Could or couldn't.
Yeah. I should have typed it in Discord so I could edit it.
Yep.
That just reminded me why the best Discord's better.
Yeah, if we had to roll and then it's just like 2 1s, total 4 or
Like-
something.
Like, okay, see you next week, Frey.
Honestly, if I bed,
All right. So
Yeah, so with regards to what we're doing, I think Percy, like, there is the cyberware thing, but we need money for that, so he's definitely paying attention to how the prices are going for things on the off chance that he catches someone that's buying for a really good price or something.
okay. So continuing to look for trade deals. Let's go ahead and give you a box there.
Yeah. I mean, there's already a trading box.
Oh, there is already a trading box.
In fact, he's
can
already
stay
in the
there.
trading box.
you can stay there.
Yeah, this box is comfy. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Hang on, we have two groundwork boxes and 2 trade boxes.
Yes.
Well, it's trade deals versus trading. That's totally different.
That's okay. That's true. But the 2 groundwork boxes are the same.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Called copy and paste.
Is that what the problem was before? I was trading rather than looking for deals. Is that what the problem was?
That is exactly what happened. Yes.
Yes.
For context, for the past month and a half, my dice rolls have just been absolutely cursed.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
it,
All right. What about I'll put Elise in a recruitment box.
I assume Demon's getting his new legs fitted.
Yeah, that works. I'm gonna leave him in the trading box though.
Mm-hmm.
What
Let me give
is-
him a new legs box.
I'll put him in the groundwork box. You keep on. What about Douglas?
Looking at what I need to start working on that CFU, which unfortunately I don't have enough funds, so I'm doing a round of fundraising amongst the crew.
Just crowdfunding for CFUs.
Yeah, if anyone wants to, if I can get 1100, I can, because I don't want to be wasting my time. I've wasted enough time on the modding front. So if I can get 1100, I can start working on the CFU battle armor.
I can give you 3,100.
31. Wait, how much?
3,100.
Oh, 3,100. Yeah, that'd be plenty. I just need 1100 just so I can start spending my time on it.
You could go out and busk. You got a guitar.
Yeah, I think I can get it. Oh yeah. I'll start busking.
You probably.
Where's my busking box?
You probably wouldn't make a 1100. Do you want the busking box?
Only if it won't count against my modding time, which it probably would.
Yeah, I think so.
Unless it wouldn't.
There, fine.
Can I add my perform and work together because they're both +1?
Actually, I think that you know what, that's fair.
I actually think Douglas would like to busk just for the
Okay.
fun of doing it. It's not really a matter of making much money. It's just
Yeah, okay.
unless someone has something important for him to do, because I can't think of anything more important at the moment. Y'all have all the recruiting and stuff taken care of. I ain't gonna be no good for that.
Damn it. All right, so let's see. An artist wage per day is 3, 10, or 100. What is Douglas's performance skill? 1. All right, so that's clearly not bottom, but we're not going to go with 100 per day here.
A 10 a day.
Yeah,
That seems about feasible. Yeah.
it is. Yeah, the 100 really is reserved for like people who have brand name recognition. And just for the
And
fun
also
of it,
probably a +2 or higher. Also a +2 or higher, probably.
yeah. And just for the fun of it, let's also use that table in the sales chart. So, first item of business for Doug. Is he willing to go through the? Thank you, Viral. Is he willing to go through the little bit of a process to get a permit so that he can play music in a designated spot?
I don't know. I know old Doug would have definitely not done it because government.
Mhm.
I really feel like he'd be busking without a license. He probably wouldn't even think about it.
Okay. He is.
Who doesn't like a little bit of minor trouble with the law?
Why do I get the feeling you're going to wind up with less money than you started?
Yeah. Yeah, you just can do the rolls, and it'll be like, oh, you made 30 credits, and then they come along with
You
like
had to pay
a 50 credit fine.
Absolutely. I'm here for it.
He is quickly approached when he begins playing, but not how he wants. There's
Oh right, Big Brother is watching.
there's a pair
We are on
of
La Miera.
very neatly dressed and well armored police officers coming up to him. They don't look unfriendly. And
Let's be honest, through dog vision, every police officer looks unfriendly.
they wait politely until he finishes the song that he's playing. Then one of them steps over and asks, "Can I
That's
see
very
your
polite.
permit, please, sir?"
Ooh.
You cannot. I need a permit.
Yes, you can't play here without a permit.
Oh, this is a free country. Sorry, I didn't know that, officer. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, gosh, I'm not gonna start a scene. And they're being so polite, it's kind of hard to get angry at them. Right, I'm just gonna. Yeah, this is just gonna be awkward. I'll scratch the back of my head. And it's like, oh, right, where do I go for that again?
The arts and what would it be? Art and Social Center. We're heading back that way. I can give you a ride if you want.
Yeah, I don't think I have all the super strong anti-government sentiments. I mean, yeah, I don't think I'm that anti-government.
Wait, are you saying that to them or?
No. All right, yeah, I'll follow you there. Did I get any credits for the one song I played? No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll a d4. If you get a 3 or 4, then you got 3 or 4 credits.
All right, I come out ahead.
Nice.
Pocket those. And I guess, yeah, let's go get a permit. Jeez. Hopefully it costs 3 credits.
So, you know, as long as Douglas accepts the ride, he's actually driven there.
Oh. Oh no, I'm not gonna get their vehicle. I'll walk there. It's fine. I'll take my time.
Okay, all right.
I'm not getting in a damn police car.
All right, that's fair.
I'm not gonna cause them trouble, but I'm not gonna ride with them. I'm really rebellious here, you know.
They don't seem to be bothered by that at all.
I make the worst rebel.
They're like, oh, you wanna walk instead? And they give you directions. And then they...
Yep. And I'll sheepishly make my way there.
It's not a terribly long walk, you know. And you're fortunate that it's near enough to the touristy, the port here. And when Doug does get there, he might be in for a little bit more of a surprise. Yeah. There's, you know, not surprisingly, there's not like a long line. There's a few people here, but things are orderly, and he definitely hasn't walked into the DMV. And when it is his turn to come up, I'm presuming he tells the teller what it is that he's here for, what permit he's here for, what he wants to do.
I hold up the guitar.
Okay. And she tells him to go to audition room 3. Points him down the hall.
You have to audition? What the hell?
Oh yeah, they don't want any bad buskers on the streets, do
They
they?
don't want bad buskers.
Wow.
It's noise pollution if you're just playing poorly.
Oh, that's true. They really hate pollution.
Yeah.
Or littering. I mean, littering's basically just, you know, pollution.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, it's just, I didn't expect it to be that. I thought I was just going to pay him money.
And that's the other surprise.
You know, actually, I have a little more. I have a little bit more respect for that, though. Actually, you know, that's at least it's not just money grubbing, right?
Well, that's the other surprise that's going to come to Doug is once he's played a few notes, you know, he's not kept there, or not. He's not asked to play an entire set, not even a full song, just kind of somebody's there
competency.
to listen and make sure that he knows what he's doing and that he's not just making random noise. And then they fill out a little note on their data slab and tell him to go back to the teller. And she has his permit there by the time he's gotten to the window. Just not asking for any kind of payment.
I'm still gonna ask. All right, what do I owe for this?
Just a good song, I guess. Oh, you must be a tourist. No, there's no fee for this. Not
Wait,
tourist.
this
She
isn't
says
just to
you
get
must
money?
be new here. There's no fee for this.
Wait, isn't this just about getting more money for the government?
No.
Huh.
It's.
I'll take my permit and walk out.
She is ready to start explaining if he stays and listens at all.
No, I was just gonna say, huh, and then take the permit and leave.
Doug was all ready to chalk that up to, government greed and all of that, and it's like,
Right? Yeah. It's really hard. It's really
guess
hard to
not
have
that.
anti-government sentiment here. I mean, I guess it's still
Yeah.
Big Brother's watching. It's still a little creepy, but
The police were there really quick.
yeah. It's like they were there suspiciously quick. And you know that they already knew I didn't have a permit.
They absolutely did, because Doug is on the permit that he gets back. He had to, as part of it, say where he wanted to play, and was given kind of like options where he could play, and told not to play outside these areas. And once he had selected one, kind of told to stay there. So they've kind of mapped out places where, hey, somebody playing some entertaining music here can draw attention to the businesses around.
Is there a repair shop or anything? Or something with just electronics store?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, if I had a choice, I'd do something like that. That way, in my breaks, I can just do some light browsing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
Douglas is gonna need to think about this. It's like, yeah, it's it's an interesting government structure, because it's like even I need to think about this. I'm trying to figure out if it's better or worse.
yeah, it's like, the government is being reasonable, but also I'm helping their interests by doing this. Is this really a good idea?
Well, and also it's like they're very clearly monitoring and controlling things.
Yeah.
Like, there's not really much in the way of freedom in it. Certainly not freedom of expression.
Yeah, there's definitely a list of things that you're not allowed to words you're not allowed to include in your songs, or topics you're not allowed to sing about if you sing.
Right. But it is it's a nice atmosphere and everything. It's a pleasant place to be, so long as you're within the rules, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. So Doug spends some time doing that, busking and browsing and mulling and working in the Raza workshop, I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Starting on the that armor.
All right. So who is staying in the city?
This is just Elise.
Okay. I'm going to signify that by putting you at the bottom of your respective box.
Okay.
Kawana and Libra come back and start working. They are not busking.
Obviously, busking is on the left of the box, working's on the right.
Yep. And Dima, because you've got the time and don't need to make it a single day operation, Dima is being kept in the clinic in, I believe it would be House Shuri. If Percy or Das wanted to go with him, they could. Yeah, a quick and simple transit out of the city. There are free shuttles going between cities, so you wouldn't even have to pay anything.
Yeah, Percy will tag along. He's curious about the whole cyberware thing.
All right. Let's go ahead and
I'll
put.
take a break from the. I'll take a break from looking for deals.
Yeah, go ahead and put Percy in the getting legs box.
Hang on, I need to make it bigger.
Just don't come back with like Dima has one leg and Percy has an inside leg.
I'm
No,
not. I'm not
House-
sure how to edit a shape I've already put down. what?
Yeah,
It's
roll
great.
20 is weird. Here,
Because, yeah.
I'll fix it for you.
Nah, it's fine. We've got space. We can fit.
All right. Well, I'll let you be buddies in the tiny little box then. All right. And yes, for the sake of Ellie here, as new player, let's go ahead and move over to Elise's efforts to recruit throughout the course of a week. And so, yeah, said you can do it with no roll, and Elise is putting in the work. So, I don't even feel like a roll to see, if she can cut the time short is necessary. This can all be accomplished over the course of a few days. One of the requests from Libra, well, from the crew really, was the ship doctor, and that's probably one of the harder things to fill. Qualified, skilled doctors don't usually want to fly the stars with a ship of, a dozen people, unless they're being paid very, very well. And the, I don't know if Elise wants to budget that much. Of course, you will have to start paying these NPCs. The kinds of doctors who are willing to crew a ship typically need some more vetting. It takes a sharp recruiter's mind, sharp interviewer's mindset to suss out the best of them. Elise has a couple of leads from the connections that she's made on doctors who would be willing to crew a large starship with a small crew into dangerous places. And one that stands out is a doctor, the person that Elise is getting this information from, that has a general medical license, nothing specific like no surgery or anything, but helped out in his clinic on a couple of quick work calls. Every once in a while, if there was an accident or something, the clinic needs a few more staff. They want to make sure that everybody's getting good care, and so they'll contract out or subcontract out people. And he gives Elise the contact information for a Riley from Thurid. Says that he suspects that she was working for Mercure Corps, and that's where she got her medical training, but she was a good kid and handled the patients well, so don't let that deter you. Don't let that, bias you.
I see. Remind me, Thurid is the same place that Elise is from, right?
Third is the same
Ah.
place that, well, it's the same place that
Ah.
Elise went for psychic training. Yes.
Right. Okay. Not homeworld, but Sarah lived there at one point.
Youth World.
Yes.
Had a
Yeah.
background.
Mm-hmm. Educational background.
Hmm.
So when it comes up of like, don't hold that against them, right? Elise is just like, oh, I'd be a hypocrite if I did.
Yeah, there's some jokes about, yeah, we all wish we could run up on Thurid, and Thurid is to remind, or perhaps to tell for the first time, maybe? I'm not sure how much I've given. Thurid is a pleasure world. It has very few laws and restrictions, and all the pleasures that a person wants and imagines, almost all, are available there, and government sanctioned for the most part. Um, it's not a terribly safe place to live unless you are going to Belford Academy.
Funny
Then
you
it's,
should mention that.
it's very safe. Or unless you're rich, then it's safe then too.
All right.
But yeah,
So yeah, I
go ahead.
since this is probably the hardest recruitment, at least we'll would have focused on it first. And yeah, in her mind, we've got engineer, we've got general crew, right?
Mhm.
We don't have this medical specialist yet, so that seems like it would be her first choice.
All right, sounds good. Well then, where would Elise like to set up a meeting? And does Elise want to do an interview? Obviously, this is for Ellie's character Riley here.
Did they back
Yeah,
alley?
I think probably what ends up happening is Elise gives Libra a call,
Okay.
and goes, "Hey, I found someone who might be interested in that doctor position. Do you want to meet them and have like a more group thing, or do you want me to just vet them?"
Whatever you think is, whatever you think is best, Elise. I trust your judgment.
Weird. All right, and then Elise just hangs up.
A moment
And
later,
then
Elise
Elise will
gets a
go.
text.
What's the text?
Why is that weird?
Why is that weird?
Yes.
It's just like, you said you trust my judgment. That's weird.
Very quickly gets a text back. Is it weird that an android can have feelings?
No, it's weird that any one of you trusts my opinion on something.
There's a longer pause this time, and then another text. Sorry. I misread the situation.
I'm really doing it to myself. And then there's just a thumbs up.
Another longer pause, and then I got defensive because I thought you were saying I couldn't trust because I'm an android.
I honestly forget that you're an android, like 95% of the time.
She gets a very quick response this time. It's a little heart emoji.
Aw.
But yeah, so Elise will show up to wherever she's been told that she can find Riley.
Man, Elise gets a heart emoji when she says that to Libra, and Percy gets a talk about, be careful you don't forget, I could be ordered to rip you apart at any second.
It's really that have you seen that little comic where it's like one person says, "Hey, you look good today," and it's like, "Oh, how sweet. Oh, you look good today. HR, please."
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Hello,
the one.
HR.
To be fair, the contexts were different. In this one, Libra was clearly in the wrong, acting defensively over a completely innocent comment that she took wrong.
I know. I was just making a joke about it.
I know. I had to over-explain. Sorry.
That's fine.
I do that sometimes. Um. All right. So yes, how would the two of you like to set up a meeting? Is Elise calling the shots and saying where they'll meet, or is Elise, I think you just said it, going to go where Riley is currently at?
In my mind, Elise just kind of shows up to if Riley is working at this clinic, right? Like, hey, I want to speak to you about this thing, right? A very informal interview. But
Okay.
if that's not something that Riley would agree to, she would be fine setting up a more legitimate meeting elsewhere.
Ellie, what do you think?
Well, first of all, I have to remember to unmute myself.
Hey, Paul.
I think Riley would go along with the subtle, with a more informal meeting, and so as long as it is kept in a public.
Yeah, I imagine it's just like, hey, you have like a 5-10 minute break. I want to talk to you about something. Let's go over to the coffee shop or something.
Sure, I can take my break now.
And so when we get there, the conversation starts. So like, I've heard that you're, a clinician. You've got your medical license and all that jazz, and that you may be interested in maybe a little bit more of a steady job.
Yes, I came to this planet for a reason, but things changed and those reasons no longer exist. So, well, and I'll be quite honest, this planet is, she rolls her hand a little stifling. Stifling? Stifling? I don't know how to pronounce that. So, yes, I would. Are you the ship that landed recently?
Probably. I guess that depends. Yeah, probably us.
Well, I might be interested. I might certainly be interested. What kind of position would you be offering?
So, currently, we have a couple of, we'll call them EMTs. I don't think they have formal EMT training, but they're just very knowledgeable. So, we're looking to supplement that with someone who, like, may have actually gone to school for this, at some point in their life. You know what I mean?
You need a healer, a medic.
Just someone with a legitimate medical degree that can help us fix issues pertaining to health. We've had some instances where just in the course of our work, doing completely legal salvage, some oxygen issues and some blunt force trauma and things like that, and it would be nice to have someone there that can more properly treat that.
Well, I'm quite certainly a very well-trained medic. I'll give you that. When you say completely legal,
I mean completely legal.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you expecting any excitement for all of this during all of this?
Officially, no, but yes.
What benefits would you be offering me for this position? What's the pay rate?
I don't have an actual, out of character, I don't have the actual pay rate, but at least would say what the pay rate is. Like, we're expecting to be able to pay you that much. and
Mm-hmm.
you'll get quarters to yourself on the ship. Room and board are kind of taken care of in that sense, right? You have free access to any of the food on the ship.
Fancy made be.
You will what?
Fancy made be.
Fancy med bay? I'm not. Of course, we have a fancy medical bay. All right, I haven't got there yet. That's like the last thing. Right? I'm going through all the other benefits, right?
Sorry,
You know-
you look like you were struggling. You hadn't mentioned it.
Viral's just
I
excited.
forgot about it.
Yes.
I was going through like the typical like HR, and like when you join the team, we're like a family unit, right? We take care of one another, and we all get along.
But you take
Uh,
care of us more than anything else.
Yeah, and you'll definitely take care of us more than anything else. We have a very highly advanced medical facility on board the ship, so you'll be working in probably the most prestigious medical facility of your entire life while you're with us.
Your Riley snorts quietly at that last comment. Well, I'd be surprised about that, but we'll see, I suppose. Now,
I think you will be very surprised.
I suppose we'll have to see. Now, when you say highly advanced, how's your surgery preparation area? Just in case there's
Well,
some.
it's very clean, and it's there.
Right, I'll have to take a look at it.
This is HR hiring people that don't know what.
Apologies. I suppose I shouldn't be talking to the person in charge of hiring about the specifics of the medical equipment when you've made it very clear that you don't have a medical specialist.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I wouldn't classify myself as the hiring specialist though.
Oh, you're the one who was presumably chosen to approach me. I think that makes you the hiring specialist. Now, well, would you agree to give me a tour of the ship then, so I could have a little bit of a foray into where I might possibly be working?
Yes, I can allow you to take a tour. However, I'm gonna need you to sign something real quick. It's a non-disclosure agreement. Anything that you see on the ship, just not allowed to talk about it. You understand, of course, right?
Well, he raises a very curious eyebrow.
Like I said, highly advanced facilities.
Well, I suppose you might be concerned about corporate espionage. Very well.
Incredibly concerned.
Truly. What company do you work for then? She says with a slight narrowing of her eyes.
Just slide the NDA closer. I can let you know as soon as you sign that. Dotted line. Initial there. Date there.
She squints and stares at you for quite a bit. A tad bit of suspicion on her eyes. Before she quietly signs it and slides it back to you. Very well.
Fantastic. All of them. I'll see you at the ship at your earliest convenience. I'll give you the credentials. How's 8 p.m. for you?
She tilts her head and hums. That should be doable, yes.
Excellent.
Actually,
I'll see you there.
could I have your communications information?
Oh, yeah. Elise will pull out a proper business card. It was blank, so it's all handwritten, but it is a proper business card.
And you're not a hiding specialist.
Riley looks highly bemused at this.
You can see it's done by hand. Scanned in, of course, right? It's very clearly not scanned.
Of course. Very professional indeed. She seems a tad reassured. I will see you then. Well, I'll see you later.
Yes. As soon as we're out of this meeting, I'm going to call up Libra.
Libra responds.
We have the medical specialist coming in later today. You should let Kawana know and make sure that everything, is squared away for this. They're gonna want to see the medical facility, and they asked me a bunch of questions, and I want to get this out right now. I am not a hiring specialist, not my fucking job. And I hang up.
If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck.
Let's ignore the fact that over half the hires have been Elise's doing.
I mean, everyone we've hired since we came back from the memory loss thing has been because they knew you before.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
And you're also the only one who has formally gone out to hire anybody. But totally not the hiring specialist, guys. Totally, definitely not. No, never.
Feeling manipulated.
Riley is going to arrive at like 5 before 8, shooting off a quick message to Elise that I'm here.
Oh crap, she's fucking early. Just look over at Kawana and Libra like, are we ready? Good?
Yes. Give me just 1 second here.
Okay, I'll go out and just bullshit. All right.
Sorry, no, that was the GM saying. Give me 1 second here. All right. So clarify for me what she's asking Libra to do. Was it just she's gonna be here at such and such time for a tour?
Pretty much, and like put all the legal shit away. Don't put anything incriminating out in front.
Okay.
Take the Raza stickers away from all the walls.
Okay. That actually is why Libra came back with Kawana in the first place. So this is a little bit sooner than expected. So good thing that Elise called. Elise gets back a few hours later. Elise gets back a quick little map of like the safe areas, including Medbay, and a route to Medbay.
Fantastic.
But only one route to Medbay.
Mm-hmm. Sounds great.
And
so,
let me interrupt real quick. Did we get the extended medbay? I know that there was talk of it. Oh yes,
from the
because
salvage of the Fear Teneriu, yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I should add that.
Do that.
Sheet. Yep. Okay. Go on.
Oh, thank goodness we aren't going to have to show the not extended medbay.
That
would have been awkward.
Did anyone else? let me start with this. Out of character wise, did anyone else want to be notified of the impending tour interview?
Percy wouldn't mind if you mentioned it, but like, he wasn't really that involved in the hiring process, so you could just meet Riley whenever.
Okay.
Unless you actually mention it, you're cool.
Well, I assume it would be passed through Libra, like, hey, we need to clean this up. Anyone who's still on the ship needs to help.
Yeah. Libra is definitely pulling hands that are available to create, like, she's done a lot of. She and Kawana have done a lot of work already with the cargo bay, the expected receiving areas of people, making sure that there's no blood in the barracks, all those things. But it's still a big ship, and she thought that they had about a week, and so to make sure that there's a route to the medbay and that there's no incriminating stuff in the medbay or QEDs lingering around.
True.
She is pulling all available hands to do a quick tidy up of a specific logistical route.
Okay, well in that case, Percy will probably be there.
When bringing people aboard your ship, there's not blood on the floors, and there's not a corpse in the toilet, and
I like that you're also prepping the ship, and Riley would just generally probably not care. She would just be like, "This is a big David, it's a medbay, okay?"
Look, it's very, very important that we're selling this air of professionalism. Because it's going to go away as soon as you hear what happens when we have a yellow alert.
I was going to say.
Well, so who's coming to greet Riley?
Yeah, I guess Percy will have been there since he was, cleaning the place up.
Elise is there. Of course,
Yeah,
right? Hiring a specialist.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think Das would be present but not visibly.
We know what you mean.
Das is
I
watching
have
from the
I have
fucking
ideas
maintenance
for
hatches.
I have ideas for where this is going to end up. So
Well, when you approach her, she's looking at the ship in some curiosity, twirling a metal tube with her fingers. Hello there, Elise. A null person.
Yes, this is Percy, right? Percy, this is Riley, who could be our medical specialist soon.
Percy just sort of gives Riley a slightly funny look, but then when Elise says Riley, he just sort of like shakes his head a little bit to clear. Oh, hey, Riley, yeah, nice to meet you. And he holds a hand out.
Which hand?
Yes.
Both hands.
Riley uses her left hand, the one that she's not using to twirl the tube to shake
Right,
it back.
yeah. So Percy probably would have been left hand as well, yeah. Yeah. So
I'll see
you're
about that.
so you're here for the tour, right?
Oh, sure am.
Yeah, so if you just follow us, we'll take you through some of the facilities here. We'll show you the medical bay. You'll be super, super impressed. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can just let either of us know. Any of us, either of us, doesn't matter.
Either of us or any of us if we see anyone else on the way.
I'll
Yes,
keep that
yes.
in mind. Very well, lead on then.
The ship that they're taking Riley into is impressive in its in its tech. It's Riley has been on some ships. Riley's later history would have included some service on ships. So, she's not new to them by any stretch. She has some concept of things that you do on a ship, and she has some idea of what ships internally look like. None of the ships that Riley has been on were warships or dedicated military ships, and that's what this is. It's also got the ancient kind of air of a futuristic pre-tech ship. Now, Ellie, I think unless you've read the book extensively, pre-tech might be a new word for you, or at least an unfamiliar.
I explained it to her during character
Oh,
creation when she was looking
fantastic.
at items.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so then it does have the context that I want it to. This is internally is a sleekly designed military pre-tech ship. Now, it's not like glowing walls and all that kind of shit. The pre-techness of it isn't every nook and cranny, but it is evident in its construction, and well, also the simple fact that it is a cruiser class ship that has landed on the ground without creating a crater or burning wreckage, which is what happens to most cruiser class ships that try to enter a planet's atmosphere. It doesn't work. They're too big. They fall apart. They're not designed for it, and they really, without whatever technology is functioning for this ship, they can't make it work. I return you to the players for continued roleplay.
So, integrated pre-tech? or a converted pre-tech ship?
Remember, NDA.
I did
Oh,
sign the NDA. You saw me
Oh,
do it.
oh, good. I'm glad you
Just
got to sign
reminded
it
you of
already. But yeah, so it's actually the latter.
Fascinating. Which reminds me, what company did you work for?
We're union
Passage-
adjacent.
Percy just looked at Elise like, I hope you have an answer because I sure as hell don't.
Yeah, we're union adjacent.
Union adjacent.
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose I have no issue with that. Good.
Yeah, and so over there is our galley. If you follow the hall down to the left, you'll end up over at the crew quarters. You'll get one of those rooms over there. Although maybe don't know you if you want to sleep in the medical bay on one of those beds. More than welcome to. We've all done that at least once. I've done that at least once.
As patient or simply to sleep there?
What?
As a patient or simply to sleep there?
Push whichever you want.
If you want, we could bring in one of the beds from the actual quarters. If you don't like the beds in there.
No, medical beds are quite fine.
Yeah.
To each their own.
Yeah. Over there, if you keep going down, there's the engineering wing. We won't be stopping there because if you look over to your right, ta-da, medical bay.
Ah. Riley steps forward.
After you, Percy just gestures.
Sorry, what?
And Percy just says, after you, and gestures. Your potential new workplace.
Riley peps forward. There's a little bit more bounce in her step than there was 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, I can imagine.
She is thoroughly examining every nook and corner of the medical bay.
Yeah, it's an extended med bay. We might be here a while.
Narration here. This is a nice med bay. However, in the context of Riley's work experience, this is a med bay. It's certainly large. It's larger than Riley has worked on in the past, although Riley has seen med bays of this size. Yeah, size and everything, of course. Some of the... Sorry, go ahead. You had a joke. Go ahead.
How could you tell? That's fine, I'll take it.
I've played with you for several months now. It is advanced. I would say that it. How does it compare in its tech? It would be hard to say. It does clearly have some of that pre-tech feel to it. And the pre-tech, some of the construction innovations that were capable in the times before the Scream. But overall, I would actually say that it's perhaps less extensive and less like excessive than the med bays that Riley has seen on ships. It is absolutely a monstrous wonder for a warship, though.
Wow, this is an impressive med bay for a ship, indeed.
Yeah, and to undercut a little bit of Dex's narration, Elise is just going, so these are the medical beds, and here's the vitals monitors, and here's the desk, and here's the file cabinets.
Riley is kind of grinning at her. But it's her.
You know, I'm pointing out everything that at a glance you're like, yeah, I know what that is, I know what that is, I know what that is. It's more of like Elise is like, what is it? One of those like real estate agents where it's just like, and this is the house, and you can imagine doing the things in the house.
Yeah, Riley.
Do we still have
Riley's
the stasis pod set up in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where we explore traumas.
So that's that. There is something unusual. There is a stasis pod jury-rigged, jury-rigged installed next to the beds in one corner of the room. Stasis pods aren't supposed to be in medbay. They go somewhere else.
The
Paul
closet.
Riley is
Not the bed
Paul
bay.
Riley is very bemused at the enthusiasm of the tour. She's gonna pause and go, "Why is there a stasis pod in here?"
That's a longer story than I think we have time for on the tour, for being honest.
Or we can extend the tour if you sign another NDA.
I'm sorry. The story as to why you have a stasis pod in your medbay requires an NDA.
Yes.
That ought to be a fascinating story. If I sign on, will I have to sign all of the NDAs for every single thing?
No.
Hmm.
If you sign on, the NDAs will be minimized.
Minimized. Not allowed to
Yeah.
qualify. Makes sense. You're still a company after all.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Well, honestly, this is one of the. It's a good med bay. I'll give you that. Not sure if it's the best ever, but very good.
We
How,
resent that, but we'll let it pass.
How
Nice.
perceptive
Nice,
is Riley?
Hmm?
If there happened to be a faint clang sound from some vents somewhere.
Hmm.
I'm not sure she would give it a second thought.
Right.
Could just be a clangy ship for all we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
There,
Hmm.
there,
Come on,
there,
let's
there,
proceed.
there is a faint clang sound from above.
Pre-tech doesn't clang. Come on now.
Protec absolutely clangs.
everything clangs if you put enough force into it.
Not by itself, I mean. Surely it's too fancy and futuristic, even though it's from the past.
You see that Clang is Henrietta, our pet gerbil. Sometimes Henrietta gets out of her cage and starts wandering through the vents. It's fine.
Well, so as long as your pet gerbil doesn't get into the medbay itself to contaminate things.
It's not my pet. It's the crew's pet gerbil.
Yeah, well, I was sorry. I was referring to it as your, as in the cruise. Yeah.
It's kind of our pet gerbil.
Right. Well,
Is-
as long as the pet gerbil doesn't contaminate the medbay or any other
Yeah, of course.
contamination isn't wrong by the
No, it's
kitchens.
sterile.
Yeah, of course not.
Good. Lovely.
What, the medbay or the gerbil?
Yes. Quite lovely. Ah.
But yeah, you can see for yourself, even without a dedicated medical specialist here. Like, I'm a bit of a self-trained isn't quite the word, but not formally trained medic. But even then, we've still kept the place nice.
Yeah,
Or we've tried to anyway. There's a lot of work to do, you know.
I suppose. You've done a.
I'm sure the two of you have a lot to talk about. Percy here patched up my wounds once, maybe twice. I don't think
And-
there's been a third time, has there?
I don't think so.
And
Yeah.
how did they manage to leave any scarring, or did they do it properly?
Well, there's a reason we're hiring you.
Hey! Come on, you said it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't.
And you're still on your feet, aren't you? That was the main part. That was the main point.
Well,
Well,
yeah, but if I wasn't still on my feet, I'd just get the demon treatment.
You know what I mean.
I was joking.
I mean, we could probably get you some cyber legs if you wanted.
I like my perfectly good legs right now, personally. No offense to anyone present in the room with cyberware.
No, it's fine. He's still getting infected, I think.
That's all right. Cyberware is overrated.
Right.
What's
what
your
makes you say
captain
so?
like?
Okay. Sorry, Fred, I didn't quite catch that question.
What's your captain like?
Huh.
John's
Being
nice.
Old.
I suppose.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, not old, experienced. But kind
I
of
mean,
old.
he's probably in his 50s. 60s. Definitely not in his 70s.
No, no.
Yeah,
But
he's
like I said-
experienced.
Experienced. And how does your captain treat the crew specifically?
Generally
A lot of
well.
respect, a lot of mutual respect
Mhm.
going around.
Good amount of
You know,
autonomy.
yeah, no disrespect. No, you have to do my orders. They're absolute. You know, none of that stuff.
Hmm. Very interesting.
Hmm.
That's not a type of captain I've met before. Then again, I've never.
Well, is it time to try out some new experiences then?
And you'll find us very unorthodox.
Yes.
Oh, that's putting it lightly.
Nothing I'm not used to, I suppose.
Hmm.
Well, I suppose your offer does look quite good. Give you that.
You know, there is a small signing bonus.
Oh, what would that be?
One of the crew members will make you a cake.
Oh no!
Oh no!
What should I put down as your favorite flavor of cake?
Space cake.
I'm going to argue that the sentence Elise said, there is one word that is incorrect, and it's the word "ah."
Well, you could if they could make me a good space cake, I'd appreciate that. Never say no. It's always important.
Well, we will have a space cake ready for you once everything's signed up and we're getting you moved on to the ship.
Well, so far everything seems fairly well. I'd like to look over the contract, though, if that's all right with you.
Absolutely. I actually have that prepared if we go, and conveniently, it's just on the medical desk right over here.
Aha, very convenient. I see we're well prepared.
Mhm.
Good. You are
Well-
the hiring specialist. I suppose that makes sense.
Yes, I am.
Good. You should take pride in your work. You're quite good at it.
Percy is standing out of Riley's line of sight and doing his best not to burst out laughing. But you can see his lips are visibly pursed.
Riley is having a big smile on her face.
Elise
It is a it is a
having big
friendly,
smile, but it's
genuine
hiding some
smile.
slight mental pain. But yeah, we'll get contracts signed.
Well, I'd like to look them over first to see if there's anything.
Oh
if
yeah,
everything
sure.
checks out.
Sure. Take your
Dex, what's
time.
on the contract?
So, kind of depends on how you guys want to handle things.
Do you have it written out?
Like standard. Well, yes, I do.
Could I read it? Can I
yes,
read
you
the
can.
entire thing?
Yes, you
Great.
can.
Give me.
I told you he's ridiculously prepared for everything, didn't I?
Oh, it's great. I love the fact
I'm
that I get
also
to read
very,
it.
very good at saying, "Here it is," with nothing there. or
Give yourself
boiling
more
an
credit, you're good at your
entire
job.
contract down to standard wages for a medic on a ship are 60 credits per day if they are considered a tier 0 NPC, 120 credits per day if they're a tier 1 NPC, or 400 for a tier 2. The tiers roughly correspond to their actual skill level in the desired skill. Now, obviously, that is handled a little bit differently for PCs, but most likely Riley's experience would have her at the equivalent at the 60 level. That's definitely not to say that Riley is not a good doctor. It's to say that Riley is kind of, I'd say, kind of new to being a combat or a doctor on a military ship. it would be very easy to argue that Riley would be at the 120 a day level. However, I think I saw somebody in the chat in Discord say that it might be better if we just automatically put Riley in at the earning us shares level. I think that was Meowkin.
Yeah.
So this is
That
where
does seem fairer.
you guys as players help hash out this contract. How do you want, out of character, as players, how do you want to handle the splitting of funds between characters that are kind of at different places of the ship? Like, you guys are the bridge crew, you've hired a advanced doctor. How are you equalizing this? How are you handling all this?
Well, what we were doing previously, Frey, was we were splitting like all the money that we made. Yeah, it got chopped in half. Half of it went to the ship's fund, and the other half got split equally between us PCs. And then we paid the NPCs at the ship fund, and we also used that to pay for like repairs and stuff because there was
Get the NPTs, yeah.
yes, it needs a bit of TLC.
But yes, that would probably go out of the ship fund.
Yeah, and I do think that like if we were paying you like an NPC, either you'd be getting more than the rest of us when we weren't salvaging, or you'd be getting less when we were, and either way that would feel unfair for someone. So we could just split our half of it 6 ways instead of 5, if everyone's okay with that. Or does anyone have any other ideas?
Reasonable to me.
Yeah.
There's your employment contract.
Thank you.
Oh, someone's busy. Someone's busy.
Prop 2 hiring manager.
The employee will serve as medical officer and will be responsible for medical things. Okay. Payment will be made via payment method. Nice.
May be required to travel.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, maybe required to travel.
Termination may occur with or without cause and with or without notice.
And be careful, that termination might be more literal than you think.
I was going to say,
Yeah, yes.
when you say termination, do you mean we fire them or we shoot them?
Yes.
Left it-
Yes. Termination. It's like termination of contract of person. Yes. Either. Either and both.
Termination of person or contract.
Will cause the other.
As long as you don't put it as termination of contract only.
You're welcome, Dex. I just bailed you out of this.
Well, thanks. I love that the date is today's date.
The compensation. You pay the salary per month. But it would. Technically, what we're talking about, though, is not a salary at all, there.
No, it's a split of the salvage.
It's been like
Pardon
a
me?
week, right?
Yeah, but that's not a salary.
Paid a salary per month. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I guess per month. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Except.
They get a
We don't really
percentage
get-
of their yearly salary per month.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not wrong.
I don't know. My favorite line here is overtime will be required.
Yeah, I
Riley's
do.
just gonna
I
kind
actually-
of look up at Elise and go, "Can I have a pen?"
Here you go.
She takes
I
the
think
pen and
that-
starts scribbling on the contract.
I think the bit about termination is maybe my favorite line.
I do think that the overtime.
Does Riley have a last name?
Wilborn.
Hopefully that's on the roll 20 so I can copy it.
It is.
Yes. Just for your additional reference, Elise does not have a last name that she's signing with. There you go.
I do feel like the overtime will be required based on operational needs of the spaceship. Should include that it is not actually paid extra.
No, there's nothing about being paid extra, therefore it's not being paid extra.
Well, you're getting paid salary, and salary usually implies that you don't get overtime pay.
Mm-hmm.
Also true. Also true.
But I'll put it into the contract just for it.
Okay.
What if the only benefits that the employee selects is overtime pay?
All right. So what did we decide on as players? Is it just is it the splitting of your
Shares.
yeah.
Equal share. I'm cool with equal share.
I mean,
Any,
I wouldn't have suggested it if I wasn't okay with it.
anybody opposed to equal shares? Nope. All right.
Speak now or forever hold your silence.
So yeah,
So fix the contract.
the contract reflects in some way that Riley is waiving the daily wage, the daily the blah is waiving the option for daily pay for a more for a share of ship profits, and that's also not uncommon for mercenary crews. It's certainly something Riley's never been privy to herself, but she at least knows that that's not uncommon for mercenary crews for the kind of the officers or the chiefs of the crew, and being hired right into head of healing and meds, yeah, probably qualifies. Rest and recovery. So the contract reflects that Riley shouldn't expect, like, if this ship just kind of starts floating around, flying around systems and doing nothing, Riley's getting paid nothing.
But you get room and board, so.
That's true. Yeah.
And so are the rest of us not getting paid anything if we're floating about doing nothing.
Yes, yeah.
Right, we have incentive to not float around to do nothing because we are also on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
This is why that
contract
clause is
reflects that.
on.
I am genuinely editing the contract. Ignore me for now. What word am I trying to?
Let's see.
I'm imagining Riley with a pen just going to town on the contract, just crossing out words and writing new stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's genuinely how I'm editing. I'm boldening the things that I'm adding, so that it is clear what I've changed.
So we're actually after 1 o'clock here. Why don't we take a quick break so that Ellie has time to finish up what she's doing with the contract there, and I have time to make a token.
Sounds good.
Let's see, 1:13. Let's go ahead and come back at 1:30.
Alrighty.
Those are some bold changes there. Pun intended.
I think it's about 3 names.
Yeah,
There are.
I was gonna say there's overtime pay now. What's my overtime pay?
It's a liveaboard. How do you even just? Well,
You know, I have the perfect comeback for Elise to do. Cross that
What's
out
that?
and be compensated at the same rate as the other signee. Which is
No,
not-
that's a good point. Alternatively, you could just argue that the working hours are 24/7
Mm.
because that's what we've been working basically.
Look, if I'm not getting overtime pay, you're not getting overtime pay.
Is that aimed at me or Ellie?
Everyone.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the way we set it up, doing the shares thing, like the pay for overtime is the ship makes more money, so
Yeah, it's basically
kind of already built in.
Yeah, but this is will be compensated at 500 credits per additional hour spent working outside of emergencies. All right, where's that money coming from?
That sounds like
Right? It's coming out
Where
of
does that
it's coming
500
out of
credits come
Riley's
from?
share. It's coming out of Riley's share.
No, I'm just saying, like if it's an emergency, Riley will not even bat an eye at how long she may have to work. But if you guys are just like, hey, can I have this or that or this or that? It's just like, yeah, okay, pay me.
Where's the money coming from?
Your fucking pocket.
I'm not paying you.
That's
All
not,
right, the ship is paying you.
that's nice. I guess the ship is paying me.
But the ship doesn't have that kind of money.
We can negotiate.
No, this is the negotiation. It's not happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring us back into frame here real quick. We are back on. And
Welcome back.
back.
Love this.
And so I do want to massage this a little bit as the GM here. Keep in mind that Riley still needs to be the best candidate for this crew to hire.
Oh yeah, let's find another NPC. Let's find an NPC to
And
you could literally just have one of you say you could be compensated for your overtime hours the same rate that I'm getting compensated if you're released, and Riley will be just like, yeah, sure, we can add that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. All right. Well,
Let's
if
go
you're
with
getting
that.
compensated overtime, I'm getting compensated overtime.
That seems fair.
I'm
We'll go up to
also
Libra.
gonna step in as GM here and ask that whatever has actually happening with the contract and the pay, fictionally, please try to keep it as simple as you can, while adding whatever nuance you want out of character, so that we don't actually end up spending time figuring out pay during the game.
Yeah, I think even splits and the compensation for overtime is that the ship has more money is fair.
I mean, well, I would love to do that. I get that. Time concerns. I kept it relatively simple, so.
Well, if we paid overtime, Douglas would be getting way more share.
If we paid overtime, Douglas would have the entire ship funded in his pocket,
Yeah.
and yet he would probably
None
still
of the
end up
rest of us
spending
would
it-
have anything left.
and yet he would probably still end up spending it on the ship to fix it. So still kind of works out, kind of.
Ellie, are you doing anything with the character sheet right now? Because I'm about to edit it.
I am not touching it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I am, however, going to open it so I can look.
Okay, fine.
But contract aside, I assume that things get signed over, and we determine, like, okay, when are you gonna shuffle things onto here? We're gonna be in port for X amount of time, so
No, I could do it.
get your affairs done in that timeline.
Yeah, not too much for me to arrange. I haven't been here for that long, after all.
And yeah. I think with that, when this stuff settles, Elise will get all this paperwork in order, pass it over to Libra, who Elise is just assigning as being impromptu hiring manager.
Okay.
How many layers deep do we go?
Like, here you go, I got your medical specialist, and now go get the others.
Does that mean that John is simultaneously the impromptu hiring manager because he manages Elise, and the impromptu hiring manager because he manages Libra, who manages Elise?
If we think about the hierarchy, right, it's John, Libra, and then Elise. So he's the manager,
Exactly, yeah.
manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
True, but it's also your manager.
So, did Elise ask or tell Libra to go hire the rest, or was?
No. Elias is handing the paperwork for Libra to file.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. We would take
Like,
care of it.
here, you handle this shit. You fucking find a room. I'm gonna go figure out where the rest of the crew are gonna come from.
Okay. Ellie, make me a wisdom notice skill check. I'm done editing your sheet, by the way. Also.
Oh, first skill check.
Wisdom, you say?
I did, yeah.
Nice.
Hot damn.
Okay. The person that Riley is introduced to is a very tall woman, slender of frame, and kind of severe in. Well, I'll just put a token. Oh, there is a token. So Libra, you can kind of see the slender face, the kind of slim expression there, and the tightly bound blonde ponytail. She's also an android, so it's not terribly common to give androids a whole lot of judgment, responsibility, but it's also not terribly uncommon. Androids are used by employers of Riley's past. They work just fine there, Meowkin. And well, the size of Libra suggests that she is either a combat android or a physical work android. Sometimes both, but usually one or the other. She is dressed and walking like a human. There's the part that kind of stands out, is that she is not clearly identified as an android. She is also not speaking in the kind of monotone or toneless tone that most physical model androids do. There's also social model androids, which are more like Sarah Connor in the Sarah Connor Chronicles, not Sarah Connor, Cameron in Sarah Connor Chronicles, or what are some other good examples? Keanu Reeves, just in general. Oh wait, no, I pinned him as a physical model because he's clearly an android.
Who?
But yeah, the social models are very much more human and are harder to recognize as androids. The physical models literally have fewer like actuators in their face to make human expressions. They are less expressive because they have less musculature hardware. She is taking Riley to a room that has been set up. It's one of the secondary officers' quarters, the ones that have 2 beds in them, and told that now that she has been hired, she may move about the ship freely. Gives you her contact information in case you get lost, or yeah, just in case you get lost.
Right. Libra, was it?
Yes.
Is this the closest bunk to the medical bay?
This is the closest bunk to the medical bay.
Perfect. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry if I can ask you a potentially rude question.
There's a pause, and then Libra inclines her head.
Were you upgraded or were you built that way?
Oh.
I was built this way. If you have any further need of
Fascinating.
me, please contact me by comm. And
Will
Libra
do.
starts walking away.
Have a nice day.
You don't just ask someone if to upgrade it like that. You don't just ask someone if to upgrade it like that.
Oh,
Christ.
is Percy there?
No.
Oh, okay.
I would just say, no, I'm saying that. No, I would just say to Riley if it was to Riley, but no. Godfrey.
Why not? It was something that was interesting right before. It was indeed something unorthodox.
It is actually a very fair question in universe.
And also, I mean, it's probably not really that unusual question for an android, you know, because presumably culturally, you know, a lot of people just, you know, they don't really treat androids as human.
No, they don't. It's
Okay, forget
actually
forget anything then.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's more unusual that we do treat androids as human.
yes. Yeah, no,
We're
Firewall.
the weirdos.
The context of this campaign has definitely given a different view of androids than the universe of the setting actually would have.
Right, okay.
So
What you're saying is Riley's question was completely normal.
Riley's question is normal in the context of the setting. Viral calling it rude is normal and appropriate in the context of this crew.
Raza.
Yeah. That's something that Libra will probably, or not Libra, Riley will probably discover soon enough.
Yeah, we treat Libra as human to the point where she needs to remind us that she could be ordered to rip our heads off at any time.
Neat. I should have added in hazard pay.
Too late, you signed.
Yeah. Too late. Yep, you're in now.
All right. So that is welcome new player and new PC.
I hear music.
Yeah, okay. Roll me a 3d6 plus your perform and plus your work. And the better of your wisdom or charisma.
Here we go.
There
Alright,
is.
wisdom it is.
Hang on. There's let's see. I'm gonna give you one friction on this, just because this is a new location for Douglas.
All right, so that's -1, right?
Yeah.
So +1, +1, +1, -1. Really? Not the greatest.
No, that's actually that's extremely average. Yeah. So
Just like our trade rolls.
Yep.
Honestly, at this point, I would settle for extremely average.
So that ends up being about 50 credits, just from the little bit of he's doing. He's not spending 8 hours out there playing music, and I'm basing this off of him being in and out. Maybe he's there some days and not others. He's got that location for himself for a week.
Yeah. If it's alright with you, I'm just gonna invest it all in various music CDs or meaningless doodads.
Yeah, sure. That's
It's
perfect.
basically, I'm just earning some luxury spending money.
Yeah. While he's busking, he actually gets some of his meals for free. The local cafe appreciates that he is providing an enjoyable atmosphere, and one of the waiters brings out a little half sandwich and some orange juice.
Nice.
Tells him that after he's done playing for the day, he can come on by and they'll get him a full-on meal. It's just kind of a snack meal.
That's a lovely break.
He is overall treated fairly well by the patrons around him.
Yeah, I like how working as an entertainer. This is basically vacation for Duskless.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still kind of working, but it's enjoyable working.
50 credits, I don't think that would pay for much. Like, if he were living on that, he would still be between a slum and a poor lifestyle.
Oh yeah, no, I'll be broken for sure. Luckily, I can sleep on the Raza
Yeah.
and eat on the Raza.
Yeah.
Speaking of, should we stock up on cake ingredients?
We should. I feel like Koana would be taking care of that whether or not anyone tells her to.
Oh, right. I almost completely forgot. Elise has to fucking... Okay, Elise is gonna call Koana.
Oh no! Koana answers. And there's a tentative hello?
Hey, how's it going? Have a favor.
Yeah, what?
Request a favor. So we just hired a new crew member, and I kind of sort of promised them a cake as a signing bonus. Do you know how to make a space cake?
I'm sure there's a recipe.
Did you
You're
make
asking?
one?
Yeah, of course. You've just made Koana's day, and it's like she's holding it back from breaking out into her tone, but not very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll find out how to make a space cake, and I will make a space cake.
Awesome. Also, what's your favorite color?
It's a... Hang on. It's a dark blue of some sort. I'll let you pick the blue. Not quite as dark as navy, but Koana says a very specific color. Like, she doesn't just say dark blue or, baby blue or anything like that. No, it's got a name of the color, and she names it by that color name, somewhere between blue and navy. So find a good color for that, Jackal.
You're asking the wrong person. Remember.
Oh, right. That's fair. I will find a good name for that, Jackal.
Royal blue?
Okay.
I think just sapphire. Sapphire blue.
Just for your reference, Ellie, I am colorblind, so that's gonna come up more often than you think.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
For informing me.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're very excited for that.
The most excited you'll ever hear me. Absolutely not speaking in deadpan whatsoever. Yeah, no, we'll see.
But yeah. Cool.
All right. Riley has a job to do now.
Yay! She's probably gonna start by familiarizing herself with the fucking medbay. And then she's gonna look if there's any fucking medical history of any of the crew, and she's probably gonna be disappointed, isn't she?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I meant Koana has a job to do. As for the medical history of the crew, that is a great question.
Pretty confident we checked that when we first started, and there was nothing there, right?
You
Riley
weren't
is
able to
gonna
access
take
it because you didn't have
yes.
anyone that was a doctor.
The computer didn't know that.
Who didn't know that?
I said the computer didn't know that.
Well, no, the computer knew that none of you had like ship credentials as a doctor, and like, I suppose you guys could have changed that.
So also, not even Elise.
Oh,
She did
point.
she did have an unreasonable amount of access to things that she probably shouldn't have, didn't she?
I don't think she ever looked after finding out that she had
medical
unreasonable
records?
access to things she shouldn't have.
That's true, actually, huh?
Yeah.
That's true.
In the medical records?
I thought that was the first thing she
that was
looked
the
at.
very first thing that I tried to do.
I think
That was the
literally
one thing that she
very
was
first
locked
thing.
out of.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, for some reason, the medical records of the Raws are really kept under lock and key. You are going to actually have to get the captain to sign off for Riley to get access to the crew's medical records.
Oh yeah, I guess we should probably tell. Now that Riley signed, now we should probably tell him that's legally the captain is missing.
Yeah, that's maybe an idea, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean legally the captain's missing?
See, it was too long of a story to tell you on the tour. I told you.
You.
I mean, maybe we should have waited until we lifted off, but
How advanced is the ship AI?
Yes.
Oh, ships don't have AI. Not in this setting.
Oh, okay.
Not by default.
but is there a
Does the ship-
VI?
Does this ship have an AI?
The ship does not have an AI. Nor does it have a dedicated VI.
Are you trying to tell me that you hired me as your doctor and none of you have any medical records that I have access to?
I mean, I feel fine, Doc.
I am
Hey.
going to have to interview every single one of you in detail about your medical history and put it on a fucking private computer. I am unhappy about the situation, but I can prove it. Yeah, Riley needs a fucking thing to keep the medical information that she's going to be collecting after interviewing every single goddamn crew member.
Hmm.
Oh god.
I mean, you could probably just leave a list of questions and delegate.
No.
No? Okay.
So sorry, some of us have professional standards.
Excuse you, I have professional standards as well. I'm very professional about shooting people in the face.
Sorry, professional medical standards.
Different.
Very different, yes. Some of us heal, some of us kill.
You say that as if I didn't patch people up the last time they got hurt.
We can multitask.
Including one of the thugs that came at us with a knife and we later ended up extorting from money. But that's a different story.
Right. No, I need a personal computer to keep all this medical information on. I should go buy that.
There's a computer in the med bay, right?
Is that the right word? I don't know if that's right. Yeah, Riley is going to try and set up medical files for everybody.
Okay. Yeah, and
You doing
Riley
your
can
job.
certainly, set up new files to which she's given access. She just can't access any of the existing medical records for
Right.
any of the crew.
Right. Actually, Riley is. Is Riley with anybody in the medical bay right now, or is she alone?
That would be up for the players. There are no NPCs there.
Is anybody in the medical bay with Riley?
Well,
No, at the
Elise
moment, I
is
think.
recruiting,
Go on.
so
Yeah, I think Percy's probably out scavenging for deals. I would like to see if we can get stuff sold by the end of the session.
Right. Yeah. Fair. Riley's gonna find the nearest crew member to ask them about stuff because she couldn't get into any of the medical files and she doesn't know where the captain is.
Okay. Yeah. So, I don't think Riley was in her tour introduced to acid.
No.
She was not. No, this could be interesting.
Yeah. There is a blue person walking around that Riley recognizes as Trin. For your player knowledge, the Trin were, I've told you what the Trin were, what kind of race they were. I think I also told you that their planet got made unlivable through a catastrophic natural event is what it's called. basically all
Yes.
of the oxygen in their entire atmosphere, within seconds, turned into argon.
Ooh, nasty.
The element?
Yes, yes.
That is
Nasty.
concerning.
Yes,
That's really nasty.
a very, very kind of impossible thing. I don't think, if I remember right, argon isn't like actually harmful. It's just the fact that it's not
It's inert.
oxygen.
Yeah, it's completely non-reactive because it's a noble gas, or not quite completely, but
Yeah, that's
mostly
why.
non-reactive because it's a noble gas.
That's why I picked it, and also because it makes a great pun of Sky's argon.
I hate
Grown.
Well played, sir. Well played.
So anyway, I would like to approach acid.
Question after that you would not like to.
The surviving Trin were relocated through some sector efforts to a planet, but they haven't really been heard from in the sector at large. And so, yeah, there's Acid, and she looks up as Riley is approaching.
Hi there.
Hello?
Can I have a moment of your time?
What?
Hi,
You get
I'm
a lot
the
of
ship
background noise, Ellie, just to let you know.
I am putting stuff in the fridge. Don't worry about
Okay.
it. I'm done.
Alright. Yeah, I was unable to hear you, sorry.
Right. Hi, can I spare a moment of your time?
What?
I'm the new doc. I was yesterday hired as the new doctor, and I am currently incapable of accessing the medical files of the crew on this ship. Apparently, I need the captain to sign off of it. Would you happen to know who the captain is?
Let's see. You'll have to talk to John.
Thank you. Where's John? More importantly, who's John?
John's the XO. He's in the city.
Right.
Yes.
Do you happen to have its contact information? Because I'm not going on a wild goose chase.
He's busy right now. You can talk to him when he comes back to the ship.
Very well. Would John also be the person I talk to about what the exact requirements are for me to do as the head medical officer?
Acid finally puts down whatever it is that she was doing. She was probably holding some bits of metal in the workshop and engraving something onto them. And walks out. I assume they've already showed you where the med bay is.
Yes, they sure have. Riley follows. By the way, hi, I'm Riley.
Acid. She does not extend a hand.
Neither does Riley.
Okay.
They're walking. Riley understands that sometimes when walking, hand is not appropriate.
Yep. She walks over to the med bay and gives a little bit more in-depth introduction to some of the more peculiar parts of the ship. Like, she's not going over the things that Riley already knows. She's more touching on the things that Riley might already have had questions on. I would say that she's definitely not treating Riley like, like I said, she's not saying this is the machine that cuts into people. There is an autodock. No VIs, but there is an autodock.
So basically it's the exact opposite of Elise's tour strategy.
Yeah, I was trying to say that without saying that. She gives Riley helpful information about the things in this med bay that are different from what you would expect in normal med bay. And Acid knows her way around here. She's clearly not a trained medical professional. She's, from Riley's estimation, she knows what she's doing, but as a experienced in the field type, learning. And beyond that, she knows her way around a ship medbay. She actually does have that experience with her. She is older than that picture makes her look, and she carries herself with a little bit of age. And then she kind of circles back around to Riley's concern and says, John won't be able to help you. Those records are sealed, and the captain of the ship is missing.
Missing? I'm sorry. I was about to comment how nice it was to see that at least someone was familiar with everything. Well, you don't have a medical professional, and how you've been very helpful. But what do you mean the captain is missing?
You know you're on the Raza, right?
I am aware.
So Porcelain is the known captain of the Raza, or at least was during the Raza's several-year stint through the galaxy, terrorizing and blowing up places. Up to you how much Riley knows about that actual background.
Not too much.
And Acid says, we haven't found Porcelain. She's missing. That's all I can tell you.
Great, and there's no one who's going to be able to give me access to the medical files until we find Porcelain.
I've made new records. You can start from there.
You are a blessing. Thank you.
She doesn't respond to that. She just turns to the computer, taps in her credentials, and assigns Riley permissions for the files that she's made.
I appreciate it. Second, quick question. Would I, as the head medical officer, also need to deal with the psychological issues of the crew? She says with a lot of trepidation.
Nobody is qualified for that.
Oh, thanks. That is not my area of expertise. I do not want to try dabbling in it.
Just step lightly around
She's right.
them.
She's right. She's right. Nobody is qualified for this. Is clusterfuck an appropriate word?
Yes. And Acid, kind of as a aside, just step lightly around all of them.
Right. Speaking of which, the Libra, the android.
Roll me another Notice Wisdom check.
Oh, great.
This is either going to be for Acid getting comic style hearts in her eyes, or being fuming that Riley mispronounced it slightly.
Is it not Libra?
I thought you said Libra.
Yeah. There seems to be no change in Acid's expression, beyond, just normal facial movements. There's nothing to intuit from what comes next. She looks up. What about her?
She's listed as a part of the crew, but I am incapable. I do not feel confident being able to maintain, repair an android.
She'll handle herself. Or Doug.
Good to know. Thank you very much. Right, good to know. Thank you. Speaking of which, do unique biology require any different care?
You'll find it in my file.
Thank you. Makes sense. That was all. apologize for bothering you. Unless there is anything else in here that I might need to know about.
Leave the stasis tube. Don't ask about it.
Very well. Am I allowed to ask if it will ever be used?
It has been used and may be used again.
Right, very well. I suppose I'll prepare myself mentally for that.
Yeah.
Pardon me, your finals, how comprehensive are they? Will I have to conduct interviews with the other crew members to get a more comprehensive view, or?
They're minimal, but I would forgo the interview.
May I inquire as to your reasoning?
You're new here.
Yes.
That's my reasoning.
God, what did I sign up for? Okay, look. I'm not going to ask anything further, but on a scale from 1 horror to 10 horror, how much horror are we talking about here being is potentially running into?
I honestly don't know.
She squints her eyes and goes, I'll rate that as a low horror then. Thank you.
Acid gives her kind of a, yeah, okay, look. And that kind of, like, single eyebrow with a one-sided lip pulled aside.
Wait, does that mean that John is the current commanding officer?
It does.
Right, good to know, thank you. Well, I had nothing else to ask about. Thank you very much for your time. I hope to not be needing to see you in here anytime soon.
Yeah, me too. And Acid is ready to leave and is going to do so.
You know, I think that's the nicest we've ever seen Acid being to someone.
Right?
Yeah.
It's weird.
I'm starting to wonder if there's something wrong with us.
Acid was being polite. If a bit cut. Speaking of which, are cyborgs a thing? Like full-on cyborgs?
There's not too many full-on cyborg conversions. There are humans that have had enough cyberware installed that they may as well be called cyborgs. But yeah, Trinner actually the closest. You saw the origin focus that they get. They frequently have cyberware, and although you didn't see any on Acid, can be reasonably certain that she's got cyberware in her.
Yeah, Homo sapiens mechanist, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Love that.
But you know, when we're thinking like kind of RoboCop type cyborg full conversion, that's not really a thing.
Fair enough. In that case, Riley is just going to familiarize herself with the medbay, the general route towards the medbay to other important locations, and what little medical files there apparently are.
All right. I'm gonna move over to the trading real quick. let's get that out of the way and see how the week goes. So,
If we get decent rolls, I would like to sell because I don't want to have to wait another week. You know.
fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
I really want some cash money. Like I said, if I can afford a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
As if the grades weren't bad enough. Anyways, yeah, I'm not touching any dice for trading this week. Somebody else can.
I'll do it.
Alright, your modifiers were, you guys
It was
had,
like
including the
twice and
friction,
something.
not including friction. So your modifiers were +4 for expertise, -1 for friction, and one of those was a straight roll like that. The other was a roll with +2.
Okay.
Well,
So,
so 3d6
+4
plus
-1, and a +4 -1 +2.
Correct.
3 and 5 if you prefer.
I do like them
Like to
actually
have the
written out because
modifiers.
it makes it
Okay.
easier for me to scroll up and look at them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I basically just
Okay.
copy pasted from the previous chat into your ears.
And we want high, don't we?
You want high on this, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, number 3, triple
I mean,
sixes. Let's see it.
that's higher than average,
It is, yeah.
but
that
only
is
by a tiny bit.
It's a damn sight higher than I was doing.
Yeah.
That would have been the parts industrial.
Oh no.
You guys, wow.
And back down to average. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a 3d6 plus what, 5?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we got barely above average on 3d6 plus 0.
Okay, anyway, another week, aren't we?
You can.
I do?
It is at the part industrial is at +10%, and you know there is always the opportunity cost. You didn't pay for these, so you're not actually losing money. You're just not gaining as much as you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just know that the one that we go like, oh, fine, we'll accept like +10%, and then the next roll is just going to be insane.
Yeah.
Then if we don't sell it on the +10%, all the other rolls are going to be -20%. That's just how it works.
What was it, like the buying ones where you had +200% on the cost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everything was maxed out on those.
Yeah.
Like I think one of the rolls was like 5s and 6s the whole way across. It was kind of insane.
Those were the rolls you wanted for selling.
And that's how I determined that glowing things are incredibly in right now.
Yep.
Incredibly into the point where you have to pay triple retail price for them.
So do you want to sell at basically base price?
We're going to be sticking around for a bit longer getting crew, aren't we? So.
Not necessarily. You can be done with all the crew this week.
This is the second week, right?
No, this was during the first week. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is the reset at the end of the first week, essentially.
Yeah, I guess I don't really like the idea that it takes a whole week to do the buying and selling. So I've set that aside. Like it's normally supposed. It's normally supposed to take a whole week to do all the trade stuff that you're doing. And I don't think that makes for good patience. So I'm just saying that you can do all of that like in a day. But when you want to wait for the prices to change, then you're waiting about a week. So this is basically the end of the first week, and you're seeing where the prices are at now. They haven't changed, effectively.
Well, got a bit better, but not much.
So you could still wait another week, if you want to hang around the city. There are things that can be done, and
Well, I need to be applying the spare parts to the Raza is another thing. I don't remember. Are we able to do that at least at a reduced rate on Planet?
Yeah. You can start working on the internal stuff.
I mean, I dare say, like, Percy and Libra are combatants. We'd probably be able to find work, even if it is just the guards or something. Sure, it's not the most exciting thing, but like we could kill time that way.
You are good at killing things, so I mean, yeah.
True. And Riley's got to take time. Riley's got to take time to get familiar with the ship anyway. See, part of me is saying that we should sell the industrial parts, but hang on to the pre-tech art for another roll. But if we do that, we're inevitably going to roll incredibly good on the industrial parts next time if we tried. I'm torn. What do we think?
I thought you were selling. It doesn't matter. I think the modifier would still be the same, but I thought you were selling native artwork and the
Yeah. I don't think we've talked about selling the small arms. We should.
We haven't. I don't think. No.
Yeah, we haven't looked at that. We're here. Those are big ticket items.
Yeah, we could look at that. I suppose. I mean,
yeah, that's one where you definitely want to probably get bonuses for, considering the high value of them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you say that as if the native art isn't expensive, but point.
March does have a +1 for pre-tech.
Yeah.
So maybe we should be looking at that then. I mean, because that's 10 times the value of the art.
I was going to say, Dix, would you be willing to let us have been looking to see what the prices for arms were? Because we probably would have, like, if we're looking for people who are buying art from pre-tech ships, we probably would have seen some prices for people who are buying weapons from pre-tech ships.
So I wanted to limit it to 2 trade transaction attempts, but I don't think
Hang on. I think that was a reason why we didn't look at it.
Yeah, I wasn't very clear about that, and I don't want to belabor it too much. So, if you guys are okay with spending a little bit of dedicated time trying to find a deal, taking one additional friction for it would kind of defeat the purpose. It would offset the pre-tech bonus. So here's the trade that I'll offer to you. Somebody makes a intelligence trade skill check at a high difficulty 10, and you at the point that the skill check is made, don't let me make it yet, please. At the point that the skill check is made, you are locked in. You are selling the small arms pre-tech. If you make the difficulty 10, it is with a -2 to the friction because you've found somewhere shady. If you don't make the difficulty 10, you're at the +1 pre-tech. You're not locked in to sell them fictionally, just mechanically, in the sense that if you back out once you've made that roll, there will be trouble. Is that a gamble you guys want to take?
I'm torn because
on the skill check side, int trade is a +3 for Das.
On average,
so an average will
average
get
is
past
10.
Yeah.
However,
you
that's
can't.
average.
Yeah. Also, you can't use your expert reroll for it.
You can. This is a skill check for that.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. And Elisa's reroll. You can use the full party for this. It just, it means that the characters are getting together to try and make this extra effort.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think it's really funny that you're allowing me to use my psychic abilities for this.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That said, I do think, while it does help us a lot that we can use expert reroll and also psychic abilities, I do think that we're not desperate enough to sell the pre-tech weapons that we need to take that extra risk, especially the pre-tech weapons. Not everywhere is a trade hub, but we can probably shift some high quality weapons like this fairly easily in most places.
Counterpoint: if we fail and it doesn't go our way, then we get combat.
Like it had a new
And
medical.
we didn't hire Riley for nothing.
Oh god. Just like, yeah, so first day on the job, Percy's got a fucking bullet in him, can you help?
So, what is the
Do
decision?
we,
You have 2 rerolls to get it right.
Hmm.
Just pointed that one out there. With skill check.
The skill
I don't
check. When I say +2 frictional, what I should have said there is we'll change the friction from the -1 to a +2, so it's actually a swing of 3 points.
Oh, that is good, isn't it?
Very
Okay,
good.
I'll be honest. There's good arguments both ways, so I'm not happy making a call, but I am okay with whatever gets decided.
I'm
I
not
say
even
that in-
participating with this particular thing, but I'm
So-
for this.
Yeah, and I say
Just
that in the full
to-
knowledge that if we do get in a
to,
fight, I'll be on the front lines.
Just to check, if we made the skill check,
Mm-hmm.
the -1 goes to a +2.
Right.
We have the +4.
Right.
Is there anything from the actual
Yes.
thing?
It is a +1 from pre-tech.
From pre-tech. Okay.
And I've looked down
So
the
is that
list.
a
That
plus?
actually is the highest.
So-
there
so
are no
the-
places that have a +2 for pre-tech.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Oh.
so I will point out,
Or for arms.
if we make that skill check, that
That's
means
true.
the
Yeah.
lowest we can possibly roll on the trade thing is 11. That's 3 ones.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sold. Let's go for it.
Let's do Let's get that big payday, and then we're gonna split with the new doctor.
Come on.
We should have done this before we hired the doctor last week.
Yeah.
Well, we tried, but I rolled shit.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get that in trade skill check.
In
Come on, don't
trade.
let us down now. Come on.
Uh-oh.
You said difficulty 10, right?
I said difficulty 10. Mm-hmm.
Let's re-roll that.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. So this is definitely not legal.
Whoops.
I mean, with the Raza, what did you expect?
Yeah.
And
Was
that's
it legal to
probably-
land a cruiser on Lamiera?
well,
I feel like it probably wasn't illegal for the reasons that it's meant to be so impossible that nobody bothered making laws against it.
right, and
Right.
John did negotiate, landing rights there. So, this is going to involve taking the Raza. Well, not taking the Raza. Yeah, that was my initial thought. This is going to involve hiring a car, and then taking the Raza and landing at a different city, and from there, driving out a couple of hours to a location, and not being questioned by customs, or hopefully when you get back, not being questioned by customs. Where did you go? You're not supposed to be doing trade outside of the cities, because when you do trade outside the cities, Lamiera does not get the taxes and the fees. That's you're circumventing Lamiera's profit model.
Oh no, how terrible.
Right, yeah, it's awful. You guys are terrible people. And you also know that you're going to be dealing with people who are going to make sure that their investment is protected also.
Which is why I suggested that we send Percy and Libra to talk to them at the very least. Like, no matter who else goes to actually do the talking, we send
Yes.
Percy and Libra just in case.
Yeah. So just in case the actual roll turns out bad and you guys decide you don't want to take an 11, who is going on this? Give you a box. In fact, we're gonna make it the dangerous, the trading box.
I may have done the math slightly wrong. I think it's minimum 10, but still.
I think that's still a
Yeah, but-
base price, yeah.
I was,
Well, it's still
I was
base
gonna-
price, yeah.
I was gonna say
We're not going to get
that
worse than base price out of this.
Yeah.
Who else is
I'm definitely
going
bringing Libra.
on? Yeah, I got her.
Yeah.
on this actual trade exchange.
At least we'll show up if she's called. I'll put
Well-
that one out there.
I was actually thinking of asking, partly because of the precognitive thing, and also partly because of who else is better at negotiations than our hiring manager.
Here's a question for you, Dexter. Would this be the place to go to buy a rocket launcher? I feel like it would be, right?
This specific place, no, because it is a empty
Aw.
patch of ground in a clearing past some trees.
You know,
What if we tell them they
bring
can sweeten the deal with the rocket launcher?
you know, if they bring one for defending themselves, then you could potentially get a free rocket launcher depending on how this goes.
If you guys roll 15 or higher on the actual trade value, they'll throw in a rocket launcher.
All right, I'm going.
All right. Ellie, Riley doesn't want to go, or Riley's not being called to go?
On the illegal trade mission.
I feel like we probably wouldn't be dragging her into illegal trade missions straight away, but if she's interested, then we would mention it.
Fair enough.
I mean, she's just busy in the medical bay. Someone's gonna have to go get her. I don't think most people have contact information yet, so.
Yeah, you
Alright.
probably wouldn't have noticed us leaving then.
No.
So,
I mean, you can just so happen to have crossed us if you want to come along with us as a player, but...
I mean, when was this happening? Because
this would probably have been being arranged in tandem with the interviewing and the recruiting and all that. So it makes a lot of sense that Riley wasn't included in this. Like, this wasn't just a make a call and set it up. This was the work of Das and probably Percy, maybe some help from Elise. You know, this was a crew. An extra crew effort over the course of several days as you were seeing that the other trade opportunities you had were not panning out. And somebody noticed something that led you guys in this route. There was just like some encoded ad in a paper, and following that thread, you're now weapons dealers. On one of the most regulated trade planets, you are engaging in an arms
Fine.
deal.
Wait, so does this
Fine.
mean, since we're selling weapons to people and we also bought some new legs for Dima, does this mean that we are both arms dealers and legs dealers?
Alright, that's it. The session's over.
Yeah, no. We're getting into the arms trade. We were already in the legs trade. We're just getting into the arms trade.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Instead of branching out, you're
Also-
limbing out.
Also, was that session over because punishment, or session over because we're not going to get any better jokes than that?
Yes.
I'm satisfied with that answer.
Alright, let's go ahead and get that roll. You got it queued up, Ginja?
I do. +4, +2, +1, right?
+4, +2, +1.
Okay.
I believe.
16.
Alright, so there's a rocket
Let's-
launcher in the deal, and that is plus 80%.
Nice.
Oh damn!
So
These are the kind of rolls we were looking for. Remind me what the base price was.
180,000 each. So base price is 100,000. You can sell
Oh.
all 5 tons for 180,000
Yeah.
each.
Oh,
So that base price is 500 for the lot. We're gonna get 900.
Mm-hmm.
hot damn! So that's what, 150k
That's a lot of
each
money.
in personal wealth.
Well, that we have half of it goes to the ship.
Yeah, half to
true.
the ship. So
True.
450 to the ship and 75 each personal. But that is
Still a lot.
ton of
Still
money.
a lot.
That is a
Yep.
ton of money.
Yep, I'm down. Let's go. Also, I don't want to piss off these people who we know have a rocket launcher with them.
Yes.
Now we have a rocket launcher with us.
They haven't handed it over yet. But yeah, I think
Oh.
yeah, we're taking the deal.
Okay.
Hot damn.
Pleasure doing
Yeah,
business with you, shady figures who will do nothing but
this is
firearms.
what happens when you bring like 500,000 worth of stuff we just found into a deal.
Yeah.
You come out with a lot of money.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's also what happens when you circumvent tax laws.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Without that benefit,
Be gay, do crime.
without that benefit, it would still have been a plus 20% deal.
Okay.
That's still
And
hot
on
damn.
any other planet than
600.
March, with higher friction, that would have ended up being base price.
Yeah, so we have what,
Yeah.
over 500,000 in the ship fund now?
No, that's still no, because we only had 20,000 in it before.
Oh,
Yeah,
nearly
it'd be-
500,000
it'd
in
be
the ship fund.
We have
470,
470. Yeah, 470. Updating
Yeah.
it now.
Who is editing the ship sheet with your new funds and changing?
Me,
Okay.
Douglas.
Yeah.
I just updated
Been doing that one.
470,000.
All right.
Remember to remove the small arms as well.
Oh,
I've
great.
got
Solved that
one
now.
more administrative thing for you, and that is how many crew and how many guard and how many technicians.
One technician, I think.
One technician.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we just need one. Crew, we want 9. You know, make the crew and the technician round up to 10.
How are we splitting crew versus guards? I was thinking maybe a couple of heavy shots to start us off, so would that be 7 crew as well?
So I'm hearing 7 crew
Okay,
and
I
2
guess we-
guard.
7 crew, 2 guards, 1 techie. That puts us at 21 overall. How do we feel?
I think the main thing is we want to hit. I guess we want to be able to have 10 crew on the ship at all time. So maybe we do more.
Yeah, well, that's 7 plus acid. 2 doesn't usually go away. I'm not going to count Libra because she often comes on combat stuff.
Natario would
Notario,
also probably.
Juana.
Oh yeah, sure. We have Quana. Oh yeah, and I guess is Dimitri staying on, or not?
We don't know yet.
Dima.
You don't know yet.
But whether we count him or not, that's still 10 if we hire 7 people and count acid, Notario, and Juana.
Yeah.
And I have been counting Natario because it's been necessary, but if you get enough crew, Natario kind of gets an exemption. As the dedicated pilot. Actually, I might have written that she is still crew. Hang on. I did write that into the normal pilot. So while pilots can perform most of the same duties any other crew does, why would they? Natario is a little bit different than that. Natario will do the other crew duties.
I feel like they'll.
Sorry, real quick. She would get an exemption for her class, but she doesn't take it.
I was gonna say, I feel like she's chipping in right now because there's so few of us.
Yeah, and she'll continue to chip in. That's just who she is.
Yeah, that's good offer.
Yeah, actually, can also double up as a field mechanic, or in engineering to some extent because of her background.
Oh, nice.
Natario is kind of your all-arounder.
Maybe then we should hire. Maybe we should hire another dedicated pilot so that they can trade off with Natario, and also so that she can, if necessary, be a more talented than usual engineer to help Doug if he needs it.
Now you just.
That's what the technician would be for. I think that's what the technician would be for. I'm also kind of thinking just make it simple to get 10 crew. Because that's our minimum target anyways, and you don't need to worry about what do we already have. I don't think the cost is going to be the biggest concern for us.
Much for a problem for a while, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. What am I hearing? What's
So
our final number?
10 crew, 1 tech. And then 2, 3 guards.
I say 2 is probably fine for starters.
Yeah, I mean we're a fairly strong combat team, and not to mention the Libra.
Right.
Yeah.
Recommend.
You say
I don't think we need too many red shirts.
Yeah. Free, what'd you say?
I think Riley would also recommend getting a junior medical officer.
There's a shout. Yeah, it's not fair to leave her by herself.
Depending on what you're
I don't know. With
after.
that sign-on bonus, I think Riley should just settle on that.
Come on, that's not one of the cake.
Riley isn't demanding anything. She's just recommending that it's a good idea to have a junior staff who can assist the more experienced staffers.
Honestly, that's a good shout.
I'm gonna call out to the fiction currently was that they were hiring on one doctor, and Elise has already done the groundwork for the current crew that we're hiring. Why don't we put back the signing on of a new doctor that Riley can recommend later on to another recruiting session?
Dope.
Basically, the Elise has already done all the recruiting, and then Riley comes on and says, "Hey, can I get another doctor?" The work's already been done.
She's just going to recommend that if the ship crew is going to be expanded this much, it might be a good idea to have a secondary doctor.
Yeah.
Potentially one who can also do some other work around the ship, given that we are still not that big of a crew for the entire ship.
I mean, Percy does have basic medical training, so they could sub in if you need extra hands.
Hey, let's wrap up the recruiting. I've got 1 technician being hired, 10 crew being hired, or was that 10 crew total? There's 10 new crew being hired, right?
I think it's fair to just go ahead and go 10. That way we have a basic complement to run the Raza regardless
So
of who
a
goes
total
off.
of 13 crew members, 1 engineer, 2 guards, and 10 general.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right.
And it does mean that, like, if we're willing to chip in for regular crew stuff as well, people can rotate and have days off and stuff.
Yeah. That gives you a good compliment. And to Ellie's point and Riley's desire there will also be some people that come on as crew that can double up as medical staff.
That's probably sufficient for Riley.
Okay.
Yeah, crew is very general purpose.
Yeah, crew is like deliberately and specifically general purpose.
Yeah. Like maybe with that in mind, though, we do keep look for a person with some medical training specifically.
Yeah.
That could still operate as crew.
Yeah. So that's the description that I've given to crew. They generalize being able to do everything that's necessary on a ship without excluding and accepting, very specific and expert knowledge. So that will include minor medical for many of them.
Yeah, it does explicitly say first aid there.
Yeah. All right. So you've spent 1 week on Lamiera. Most of that docked on the ground outside of House LaRue. Your little excursion out to House Metro, which is where Dima is anyways, so you actually can pick him up when you finish the arms trade and get his legs trade.
Yeah.
But when you come back to House LaRue, because you still have unfinished business there, you've got John in the city looking into LaRue. You are flagged by traffic control and told that you've got a message in a private terminal.
Oh.
And please come into the port main.
Yeah, let's have it then.
Yeah. They do have to do another inspection of the ship because you have technically left.
Yeah.
And so
Hmm.
you'll have to navigate
This
that.
we always had this.
Well, you'll probably also have to come up with a reason why the arms aren't there anymore.
Um.
Can we see our private message before?
Joe, we're
See
away,
what that's about?
we're away getting them appraised somewhere, right? We went to a weapons appraiser who?
I didn't hear that. Can you repeat it?
I said we're away getting them appraised or something, right? We know a weapon dealer that's checking them over to tell us more about them. That's totally what it is, and we left them there for further examination.
Yeah, that's a good explanation. Hold on to that until next week, because
Sure.
the answer to Doug's question is no. You cannot receive your private message. It has to be viewed in a secured terminal in traffic control. You very specifically don't know who it was sold to. That was part of the terms of selling them.
Oh, okay. So in character. Yeah, that who knows? That might come back and bite us, but that's a problem for future us.
I'm
We're
sure
rich
it'll
now.
be fine.
We can almost pay. We can almost pay for the maintenance on the Raza now.
Well,
So-
we can, can't we?
Actually,
Maintenance
we might
cost
be
is
able
what the ship fund just got from that.
Oh, you're right. 450,000. You're right. That was just enough to pay for the ship
So
maintenance.
that is ship
How
maintenance.
convenient. How convenient.
Concern.
How about that message on the private terminal? We'll get to the cake next week also. Koana has absolutely made it. There's no question about
Well,
that.
Well, it's space
Does
cake.
actual-
Surely you have to make it in space.
No,
Does
she'll
it
find a
actually
way.
look like a cake this time?
You'll find out next week.
Oh,
I
God.
want to know what you're doing about the terminal. The
When reading the
terminal.
message is not available,
What was that?
we can't just read the message.
Nope, you have to go to the terminal. They're not sending it to you. They're telling you that you have a private, secure message in traffic control, and you can only receive it there.
Okay,
I mean,
then
I'll
may
go
I
to the
suggest we
terminal.
go there?
Yeah.
I'll tag along in case of emergency.
All right. Now those of you that do go, you can simply decide we don't need to move any boxes for this. You're escorted into a small, quiet, secured location with a not. It's small, but it's not claustrophobic. Small terminal room with a single screen at the end. And the door is left to you to close. They do not want to give the impression that they're locking you in there.
She'll close it.
But yeah, the terminal will not the display will not display show the message until the door is closed. And once the door is
whatever, close
closed
the door.
and the screen lights up, and you
Which
see
base everyone, who's this from?
it doesn't identify it immediately. You don't get that kind of information with this. You just get a video message. It is there's a red-haired man with pale skin and some age and like weathered freckles on his face. You've seen the pictures. You recognize it. That is Cassian LaRue.
I was going to say it's the line of LaRue.
That is the line of LaRue. And he says in the message, Raza, I know you have landed outside of House LaRue. Please come to my estate in 1 day. And he gives a time. If you would prefer to meet in neutral grounds, there is literally a neutral grounds, a coffee shop specializes in confidentiality. We'll meet there instead if you prefer. Please send reply to this number with Y for meeting at my estate, or hang on. Yeah, or N for neutral grounds. The date and time will be the same for both. And the message ends.
Well, so why does Cassian want to speak to us?
Oh, we wanted to speak to Zoe, didn't we?
We did. Or
We wanted to
were
find out
Zoe.
what happened with Zoe.
Find out, yeah.
Right.
Meeting him on his estate would be a show of good faith, I guess, and it would also increase the chances that we happen to spot Zoe in passing, or that he brings her to join us. But also it requires, going on to the House Loru estate. And remember, they did place a bounty for Zoe to be brought back after she joined us.
They did.
But maybe he's always putting in a good word for us as individuals. And if we're gonna get ambushed there, I think I would
Maybe
know.
she doesn't remember us.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey,
We should bring
GM,
Zoe's memories, right?
Just on the off chance, yeah.
That might be what this is about.
Yeah.
Almost
Joe came
certainly.
back with no memories.
So if
He's
they
trying to find out what happened.
So if they want Zoe's memories, then maybe it's best for us to not have them on us so that they can't take them off us.
I feel like that comes off as being a little untrusting.
No. I would.
They don't. Sorry, go on, Das.
We don't. It's not like we carry anyone else's memories around. I don't think it would be unreasonable to say yes, we have them. They're on the ship.
And also, they don't know that we popped open the puzzle box.
This is true.
They don't know that we have Zoe's memories.
I don't know that we even have them.
They probably don't know anything
So-
about the puzzle box.
Yeah, they don't even know that we have Zoe's memories. They might just be hoping that we know something.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would say go in without them, and see where we end up.
Yeah.
If we end up as friends and it makes sense to offer the memories, then I don't.
Then we can, yeah.
But
yeah.
That
I
should-
guess it's not like we won't be able to get back to the ship, right?
Hell,
Right?
if anything else, if it turns tense, then we can just we leave someone on the Mazda, someone that we trust, Acid maybe, and say, our associate has the memories. If you don't let us go, she's going to destroy the chip.
Mr. GM, can I do a precog thing?
What precog thing would you like to do?
Are we going to be, ambushed or some other form of hostile action if we go straight to his estate?
Why
is he gonna think about it?
I will let you have that, but I will warn you that it is open to more possibilities than a tighter oracle.
So with a more focused question, you get a more accurate answer.
Yeah, normally I would say that's not like I mean, it is an immediate action. It is you taking an action to go there. I think my hesitation is it's in a day. I would prefer that oracle be asked like, oh, okay, hang on. I fixed it for myself. You have to text him. If you text Y, then that can be the action that you take that sets you in that path, and that narrows the timelines for me. Yes, I will answer that for you if you'd like. Um, so, is that are you okay with my kind of small revision there?
I mean, sure.
Okay.
I don't know how else I would revise the question, just because, like, don't think I can ask deliberately if he harbors ill intention towards us, right?
Right. Right.
That's not a valid question, and I can't reasonably ask if we do something, right, like XYZ, is he gonna be hostile, because a lot of those might be more obvious. So just
Hmm.
is this meeting under false pretenses is really what I'm trying to get at. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
and going straight to his domain, does that set us up for a more immediate failure?
So, I think the most relevant thing that occurs within your time horizon from selecting yes is not at all what Elise expects. It is perhaps helpful, perhaps very confusing, but the 1 minute of time that Elise sees is in what looks like a like summer home. It's not the grand estate that you expect Cassian's mansion to be. It is a nice place. It has a pool outside. It has nice amenities inside. It really is a beautiful place, except for all the blood splattered all over the walls, and the bodies that have been laid against the wall or laid out. Maybe not laid against the wall. Sounds like they were put there, but the bodies laying on the ground. People have been killed here, and they weren't you. Um, there's some comment from Percy in the background. Something about wondering what they did to have this coming. That's the vision that Elise gets, because you got a time horizon of a week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Because otherwise you wouldn't even be asking. That's the vision that Elise gets. And I will double down on this being useful information, because it does mean that the most relevant thing to happen from pressing yes is not getting ambushed at Cassian's estate.
No, it's walking into a massacre.
Interesting.
It's walking into a massacre that Elise gets the impression they created.
So Elise will, again, this question is not like conscious, like she's not intentionally trying to do this. It's just like as she's thinking about like what to do, it comes to her, and she starts to feel that headache come in afterwards. And we'll share that information that she just saw with everyone.
Huh. So you think if we go to his estate, then we are going to cause a massacre?
No, I don't think we're gonna cause it. I think that something happens surrounding it. Maybe our visit, or maybe he's just got a lot of enemies, and maybe we're supposed to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, it could just easily, like, from what you say, it could just be as easily that him and Zoe get fucking murdered if we're not there.
Although you seem
They wouldn't be there if we go the other option.
you
neutral.
will seem kind of non-fussed about it. You like, I wonder what happened, or like I wonder what they did. So I think we're just gonna walk into it.
Maybe rather
whether
than
we
walk
go
into
there
a
or
massacre,
not.
walk into the results of a massacre. Walk into the aftermath.
I do think
maybe
it's fair, Jackal, for it to allow you to ask other questions about it. If anything that I gave you is unclear, please feel free to ask clarifying questions.
I think the only clarifying question I have is that in the tomorrow meet me tomorrow horizon, or is that in the it's been 5 days horizon?
Oh, that is a good question. I'm gonna look real quick, because I don't I thought that it specifically didn't tell you when that was.
I don't know if that specifies when. It does say the first instance relevant to the question, I believe.
It does say the first instance relevant to the question, and that's where, that, of course, that's how I think that this is actually helpful. Personal vantage point, minute of insight.
It doesn't say anything for or against, as far as I can see.
I think.
How far away?
Yeah, I think I've been kind of thinking that it doesn't tell you specifically like when, and that's kind of a curse and burden on those who end up seeing 10 years into the future. But maybe that's a little bit unfair.
We can only see 1 year into the future, anyways.
Well, yeah, but there's NPCs.
Oh, I see.
So I think that's a little bit unfair. In the spirit of helping you to answer the question, we'll say that this is like, this is 3 or 4 days out.
Okay, so not
so
tomorrow.
This is not a result, not directly at least, that we can confirm of us going. Well, unless I look at the alternative, right, of us hitting no. But it's safe to say that this thing is probably just an event that we end up stumbling into, and we have some decent relations enough to preclude or include our participation with him for multiple days.
How do you mean that?
As in, we go and meet him, and that's fine. There's nothing bad that happens there. A few more days pass. We're doing whatever we're doing in those few days.
Right.
And then this event just happens to happen, right?
Right.
And
but
from Percy's comment, that event seems to be independent of us as individuals, right?
And it also means that however the meeting goes, we're probably not going to fuck it up badly enough to stop us being invited to Castle Nuru's estate in a few days.
Well, remember the scene that you see is not Cassian LaRue's estate.
Because remember, he wants to see us tomorrow. This was, you said 3 to 4 days out, something like that.
And very specifically, Elise can kind of judge from the detail and the place that it's not nearly as rich as Cassian LaRue's place. It's possible it is a summer home somewhere, but someone like Cassian LaRue probably has an even nicer summer place than this. This looked like somebody else's place.
It may be safe to say that was Zoe. Can I ask another question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Will meeting with Cassian lead us to meeting with Zoe in the next week?
That's too specific.
That's too specific. Okay.
Well, because it's trying to ask, will this specific thing happen, instead of saying, I'm going to do this, and then what's relevant from it.
I see. Okay.
That's fair.
I'm also going to note, so you don't have to spend effort for that. You guys have been anxious to, meet with Zoe. That actually is one of the reasons that you came here. So that would have been a relevant event if it occurred within your time horizon as a result of you pressing yes.
So that means we won't meet Zoe tomorrow if we say yes.
Yeah, there's nothing. You do not meet Zoe within the next 7 days because you press yes.
Well, it could be after
not for that reason.
It could just be that the fight was more relevant than meeting Zoe a few days later. So, yeah.
It could also mean that, yes. Sorry,
although.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I was just going to make a comment.
Yeah, I should not have included such definitive language there about you do not meet Zoe. Meowkin's more correct. The fight is more relevant than meeting Zoe, and I do want to highlight that because I know that you guys want to meet Zoe. That would be a relevant event, but this fight was more relevant.
Yeah. Well, given that we know that there's nothing bad awaiting for us at the summer home, perhaps it is more advantageous for us to go, well, not to the summer home, but to meet with him at the estate. That way, it gives a show of faith and trust to him.
Yeah, I said that at the first point, and yeah, and like I said, we do have the we're going to destroy Zoe's memory chip, by the way, if you don't let us go, as a safety net if we need it.
And if there were to be an ambush, even still, if some cosmic fuck up happened, right? You know, we would have some advance warning to not be totally like caught with our pants down.
Yeah, so we're in agreement. We text back a Y.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And with that, I do want to end the session